subscribe, like the video, and, if possible, join Patreon. But if you don't have much money, you can support the channel by watching the novels on euroaudiobooks.com. Remember that you can participate in the polls so that your favorite novel gets published for free.
You beg for mercy. I will never forgive these trash who have made me ashamed. And you're also inseparable from the lost to 7th universe this time. In the huge 6th universe, you only found 5 useless trash. Kampa cursed directly at Vados. He felt that Vados also had a large part of the responsibility for the 6th universe's loss to the 7th universe today. I clearly asked her to choose the strongest fighter in the 6th universe. But the ones he selected were all rotten tomatoes and rotten eggs. Especially the first 3 were instantly killed by mere Trunks. These guys are absolutely unforgiving. Master Kampa, I am not interceding for them. I want you to take a look in the direction of the ring. Vados said lightly. She is only responsible for finding players. As for how Master Kampa will deal with these players after the game, she doesn't care at all. Cut! It's so annoying, Kampa said coldly. Then he also looked towards the direction of the arena with great reluctance. It's okay if you don't look at it. Kampa was so scared that he sweated profusely and his body trembled instantly. Master Zeno? How? How could it be Master Zeno? How could he come to such a garbage place? Seeing that very familiar simple face, Kampa's body trembled involuntarily. The fear from the depths of the soul also instantly spread throughout the body. It's over. It's over. Master Zeno found out about the private match between the 6th universe and the 7th universe. This time it's really over. To be completely erased. And this time on the other side. Under Whis' reminder, Beerus immediately looked in the same direction. His reaction was exactly the same as that of Gods of Destruction Kampa. The joy of defeating Kampa just now was replaced by fear in an instant. His body trembled uncontrollably out of fear. At this time, Kellen and the others also noticed the strangeness of Gods of Destruction Beerus. Then he quickly followed Beerus's eyes and looked over BGFH and saw Zeno and his guards at the station just now. Then there was a look of wonder. How can these 3 funny characters with such a simple style make Gods of Destruction Beerus so scared? That look of fear is completely from the heart. Explain that Beerus is very afraid of these 3 guys suddenly appearing. Afterwards, Kellen asked in a low voice, Goten, who are those 3 guys? Why are Lord Beerus, the Gods of Destruction, and the Gods of Destruction of the 6th universe so afraid? Because in their impression, Gods of Destruction seems to be the supreme god. In the universe, there are no creatures that can make them afraid. But why did the 3 ordinary-looking guys have such a deterrent effect? Trunks and the others also looked puzzled. Son Goten didn't answer, just shook his head. Now that Angel Whis and Gods of Destruction Beerus are in front of him, it is naturally impossible for him to admit that he knows those Zeno guys. If they show that they know Zeno and the others at this moment, they will definitely be suspected by Angel Whis. There may be unnecessary troubles at that time. In the face of no absolute strength, this is obviously a relatively stupid approach. At this moment, Whis continued to remind Master Beerus, it's probably inappropriate for us to sit at such a high place and look down at Master Zeno. Damn it. UBD didn't remind me earlier. Of course it's not appropriate. Beerus immediately cursed under his breath. He was just dumbfounded just now, so he completely forgot that he was sitting at such a high place. In the end, he flew directly in front of Lord Zeno at the fastest speed and knelt down in front of him. Gods of Destruction Kampa of the 6th universe is not far behind? Then there are the Supreme Kais of the 2 universes. Master Zeno, I don't know that you are here, but if I miss you, I ask you to suffer. Beerus greeted with trembling tone. Quan, Master Zeno, why did you come to such a remote place today? Kampa also asked tentatively. There was extreme fear in the tone of both of them. Zeno-sama is tired of the junction of the 6th universe and the 7th universe. It is not because he wants to erase the 2 universes. Could it be that the 2 of them have been too lazy for hundreds of years to be discovered by Master Zeno? Or are you suing them for other vandalism? Very likely, because the relationship between Beerus and several other gods of destruction is not very good. So even if it is sued, It doesn't seem to be something incomprehensible. Master Zeno, greetings after a long absence. You are safe and sound. At this time, Angel Vados and Whis also greeted each other very respectfully. After all, Zeno is the supreme god above the 12 universes. He has absolute strength and absolute status. In all universes, there is no one comparable to Master Zeno. And if he wants to, he can completely wipe out 12 universes in an instant. I'm here mainly to see how you are doing as gods of destruction. Zeno looked at gods of destruction Beerus and Kampa, who were trembling with fear. Kawai's voice continued, but now it seems that the two of you are not doing very well. Didn't I clearly stipulate before that universes are not allowed to fight privately? Or did you two not listen to me at all? Although Zeno's voice and tone are no different from a 3-year-old child, but just these few words instantly made Beerus and Kampa sweat profusely with fear. It feels like being enveloped by death in an instant. Of course, Zeno is more terrifying than death to them, because as long as he wants to, wave his hand and let the two of them completely say goodbye to this world. And even the soul disappeared together. Hey, Master Zeno, Master Kampa has not trained at all in the past 100 years. Many sabotage tasks are done by me for him, so his body is seriously out of shape now, and the nutritious meal I carefully prepared for him is still disgusted by him. Angel Vados of the 6th universe also immediately seized this opportunity, turned into a monster, and began to sell miserably to Zeno. But what she said was true. It is because of these hundreds of years of laziness and unwillingness to cultivate that Master Kampa's strength is getting worse day by day. The current him is estimated to be the bottom of the 12 universe gods of destruction. You must know that millions of years ago, when he was fighting Lord Beerus, he was at least able to fight. Now, it is estimated that it can only be opened at 19. Beerus-sama prefers sleeping and eating more than his job. Whis also seized this opportunity to file a complaint. And after hearing the words of the siblings, Beerus and Kampa's teeth were gritted. It's fine for these two bastards to contradict them. After all, Angel's strength is so strong, they simply can't do anything about it. But now, on such an extremely serious occasion, they actually started to sue. Doesn't this push the two of them to the edge of death? You must know that Master Zeno can make their 2 universes, including gods of destruction, disappear in an instant as long as one of them is unhappy. Whis, UBD, you didn't lose a portion when you ate, didn't you? Beerus cursed wildly in his heart, but the sweat kept dripping from his chin to the ground. Master Zeno did not speak. This is the most tormenting thing. More importantly, they didn't dare to raise their heads to see Master Zeno's face. The supreme Kais of the 2 universes were also trembling with fear. You must know that once Master Zeno is angry and kills gods of destruction, then their supreme Kai will also disappear. It's quite irresponsible. In this case, let's change to gods of destruction. Swapped gods of destruction for both universes. After hearing the complaint from Whis and Vados, Zeno thought for a while, then said calmly, replacing a gods of destruction seems to him to be a very easy thing, not even worth mentioning. As soon as Zeno's words came out, Beerus and Kampa were so frightened that they almost pouted with their eyes darkened. Replace gods of destruction? Isn't it obvious that they're going to be erased directly? 090 Zeno, Son Goten, come and do the 7th universe gods of destruction. Please subscribe. If the normal gods of destruction replacement procedure is followed, they should first find the candidate gods of destruction for this universe, and then offer their resignation voluntarily. After getting the approval of Master Zeno and Grand Priest, you can officially step down from the position of gods of destruction. In this way, this person can enjoy life after retirement. But if he is directly replaced by Master Zeno, this is completely different from resigning voluntarily. Being replaced means that they have made a huge mistake in their work. And for this kind of work mistakes, Master Zeno has every reason to destroy them completely. What they did today has indeed reached the point of being wiped out by Master Zeno, because they did not follow the orders issued by Master Zeno. Privately conduct a contest between 2 universes. Therefore, the 2 of them were sweating profusely from fright, and the ground was wet in a big puddle. The body trembled even more. As for the supreme Kais of the two universes, I feel that they have been wronged even more. Obviously, this matter has nothing to do with them at all. Just been informed by gods of destruction to come to this place to watch two universe games. I didn't expect to face the fate of being cleared just by watching a game. At this time, they don't know who to tell the grievances in their hearts. Master Zeno. In fact, Master Beerus has done a very good job these years. Just now I just talked about his shortcomings, not his advantages. Hearing that Master Zeno is so serious and wants to directly replace the gods of destruction of the two universes. Angel Whis obviously also realized the seriousness of the matter. Originally, I filed a complaint with Master Zeno just now, and I just wanted Master Zeno to punish Beerus a little bit. By the way, just look at Master Beerus's distressed appearance. But I didn't expect that things would turn out to be so big. Master Zeno wants to directly replace Master Beerus. This was obviously a bit beyond his expectations. Vados on the side also nodded again and again, echoing, Master Zeno, I was the same just now. In fact, Master Kampa also has many advantages. If the gods of destruction of the two universes are replaced, I don't know what kind of new gods of destruction will be arranged. Moreover, they have been together for hundreds of millions of years now, and they have long been familiar with each other. If you change to a new gods of destruction, it will take a long adaptation process. Beerus and Kampa didn't feel the slightest bit of gratitude for their pleas. It wasn't that these two bastards just sued. Maybe Master Zeno wouldn't say the words to replace gods of destruction. At this moment, there is only one song in their hearts that they want to give to these two bastards. And at this time in the auditorium of the sixth universe, everyone was extremely surprised and curious. The majestic gods of destruction was so frightened that he fell to his knees and shivered. This is something they never thought about. Because in the eyes of most people, gods of destruction is the supreme god. Senior hit. What is going on? Why are gods of destruction from both universes scared like this? Who is that kid? Gabe looked at Hit on the side and asked. Because Hit has lived for thousands of years, there must be more things he knows. Perhaps he would know who that child was, which made gods of destruction so fearful and fearful. Caulifla and the others are naturally quite curious. Just now, I was so arrogant and threatened to destroy their gods of destruction Kampa, but now I am scared like a grandson. The gap between before and after is indeed a bit too big. I don't even know who they are, but I hope his appearance can save us. Hit shook his head and said in a flat voice, if they were really afraid that gods of destruction Kampa would be replaced, maybe they wouldn't have to die today. Having lived for thousands of years, he actually fears death more than others. At this time, everyone on the seventh universe side also had the same doubts in their hearts. Gods of destruction, who is usually aloof, is now so embarrassed. It's unbelievable that such a powerful gods of destruction is actually scared like this now. If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, I wouldn't have believed it. Kellen also looked at the gods kneeling on the ground, and then said in a low voice, there's nothing surprising about that. Although the gods of destruction is a universe's supreme god, it holds the power of a universe's rules. But that little guy is the master of all universes. As long as he moves his fingers, he can completely wipe out 12 universes. In his eyes, gods of destruction is simply vulnerable. If you have to describe it, then that little guy is the supreme emperor, and gods of destruction can only be regarded as the magistrate of a certain county at best. Seeing the surprised crowd, Son Goten also lowered his voice and introduced. In fact, his metaphor is very appropriate. The emperor of a world does have absolute rights. Wanting to kill a county magistrate in a certain area is just a matter of one sentence. Nanny, the master of all universes? After hearing Son Goten's introduction, everyone was obviously in disbelief. Because the three guys who suddenly appeared, the simple style of painting doesn't look like any powerful characters. Unexpectedly, it was described by Son Goten as a king-like existence. It seems that they really know too little about this universe. It can be said that they don't even understand the tip of the iceberg. Goten, what should we do now? If Lord Gods of Destruction Beerus is really replaced, will we be implicated? Kellen asked with some concern. Even Gods of Destruction is so scary. Then these human beings are probably like ants in front of those three guys. Not even an ant, but a speck of dust. Possible. After all, that guy has the mission of being able to wipe out a universe in an instant. And destroying a universe is as simple as playing house for him. Son Goten nodded seriously. Zeno acts like a 3-year-old child. Everything he does is out of interest, so no one can guess what he will do. What will he want to do? All, Master Zeno, we know we were wrong. Don't dare to conduct competitions between universes privately again. Master Zeno, please spare us this time. At this time, Beerus and Kampa, who were already trembling with fear, begged for mercy. They don't want to die, especially after living for hundreds of millions of years. They cherish their lives even more. You guys are a little too disobedient. Zeno obviously wasn't prepared to let Beerus and Kampa go so easily. This kind of disobedient gods of destruction, logically speaking, can be cleared directly. Anyway, clearing the two gods of destruction is simply a piece of cake for him. Even if these two universes disappeared, it would have no effect on him. Zeno rubbed his chin in thought for a moment. Then he turned his gaze to the 7th universe. There was a smile on his face. He thought of a very fun way. Then he said to Beerus and Kampa, I suddenly thought of a very interesting thing. Next, your fate will be in your universe's RMB. If they choose to become gods of destruction and replace you, you will be destroyed. If they refuse to become gods of destruction, then you still have a chance. After finishing speaking, he showed a sly smile towards the two of them. Vados and Whis on the side also looked at each other. Master Zeno still likes to play so much. And the hearts of gods of destruction Beerus and Kampa have reached their throats. Gods of destruction is the supreme god of the universe. Have great rights. It is estimated that no human being can refuse the temptation of the position of gods of destruction. Oops. Do you want those guys to replace me? Damn it, those bastards will definitely not refuse, because I almost killed them just now. Gods of destruction, Kampa's complexion became very ugly at this moment, and the sweat drops on his forehead became more dense. Because if Master Zeno hadn't appeared suddenly just now, he would have killed all those guys. Now I actually want those guys to replace me. Then they will definitely not refuse. Even if it is to survive, I will never refuse. And maybe even get revenge on yourself. Over. This time it's really over. And Beerus on the side is also not so relaxed, because Son Goten does now have gods of destruction level strength. He is fully qualified to be the gods of destruction of the 7th universe. And he feels that no one can resist the attraction and temptation of destroying someone's position. But they can't do anything now, because this is Master Zeno's order. At this moment, Master Zeno pointed to Son Goten and hit of the 6th universe. Because he saw all the battles between the 6th universe and the 7th universe just now. Both guys did really well, especially Son Goten of the 7th universe. His strength must have reached the level of gods of destruction. And that's when Zeno pointed at Son Goten and hit. The two guards beside them have appeared in front of them like ghosts. Hey, Master Zeno wants to see you. Zeno's guard spoke to Son Goten. Son Goten also nodded quickly. These three guys in front of them are countless times more terrifying than gods of destruction. As long as it makes them a little bit unhappy, maybe a universe will be annihilated in an instant. Son Goten naturally did not dare to slack off. He is even more afraid to be unscrupulous in front of Zeno like Son Goku in the original book. Then the two bodies flashed, instantly appeared in front of Zeno. See, Master Zeno. Son Goten also greeted with a very respectful bow, because he knows that before he has absolute strength, he must do something if he wants to live subdued. Ask for flowers. Arrogance without strength is not arrogance, but stupidity. This kind of stupidity may ruin your own life. As for Hit, he is obviously not used to bowing down to others. Okay, the performance of the two of you in the game just now was very good, and I'm having fun watching it. Zeno obviously changed his expression when he looked at Son Goten and Hit. There is a shallow smile on the face, which is harmless to humans and animals. Totally like the 3-year-old next door. But Son Goten dare not think so. The more harmless this kind of guy is, the greater the risk factor. Thank you, Master Zeno, for your compliment. Son Goten said respectfully again. I asked the two of you to come here, but I actually wanted to ask you a question. Would you like to be the new gods of destruction of the 6th and 7th universes? These two guys have made a serious mistake. An angel said that they are too lazy to do gods of destruction. Zeno also said straight to the point. After hearing these words, both Son Goten and Hit had expressions of surprise on their faces. I didn't expect Zeno to make them the new gods of destruction of the 2 universes. Both of them frowned slightly. It seems that they are very clear that it is not wise to greet such a strong person. If you are not careful, you may ruin your own life. At this time, gods of destruction Beerus and Kampa became even more terrified. Now as long as Son Goten and Hit nod, then the two of them will be completely destroyed by Master Zeno soon. The two also raised their heads quietly immediately, looking at Son Goten and Hit with begging eyes. Vados and Whis also stared at the two. Everyone seemed to be waiting for their reply. Gods of destruction? Goten, hurry up and promise him. This is a very good opportunity. Kellen and the others clenched their fists tightly, obviously looking forward to Son Goten's answer. They naturally wanted to get Son Goten to agree. If you have a good brother who becomes gods of destruction, it's a bit cool to think about it. Watching Son Goten and Hit thinking, Zeno continued to ask, how are you two thinking? Do you want to become the gods of destruction of the 2 universes? This is a very good opportunity. There was no sound at this time, and everyone was looking forward to the answer from the two of them. I have to say, this is indeed an opportunity to reach the sky in one step. As long as they nod their heads, they can become the supreme gods in a universe. To be honest, it is difficult for ordinary people to refuse such an opportunity and temptation. After all, many people may be able to withstand the temptation of money and beauty, but few people can withstand the temptation of absolute power. Master Zeno, thank you very much for your appreciation and attention. I don't think I am qualified for the position of gods of destruction in terms of strength or ability. And I think Master Beerus is a very responsible gods of destruction. I hope he can continue to hold the position of the 7th universe gods of destruction. This is also a good thing for the 7th universe. Son Goten's tone was still very respectful and refused. To be honest, he really didn't have much interest in the location of gods of destruction. And Beerus was really nice to him too. If you receive Beerus yourself, then Beerus is likely to be completely destroyed by Zeno. As a friend, he didn't want to see this happen. And becoming gods of destruction is not a wise choice before you have absolute strength. Most importantly, he felt that this matter was far from that simple. Seems like Zeno has other ideas in mind. Huh? Really? Do you really think so in your heart? This is a very good opportunity. You don't have to have any burden. Because once you become gods of destruction, Beerus can't do anything to you. For Son Goten's answer, Zeno was obviously a little surprised. Unexpectedly, Son Goten of the 7th universe refused so simply. And he also praised Beerus for his serious work attitude. This is indeed what he did not expect. After hearing Son Goten's answer, Beerus burst into tears instantly. He also swore secretly in his heart. From now on, Son Goten is his half-brother. So generous. If something happens to Son Goten in the future, he will help Son Goten even if he tries his best. Whether you will be cleared by Master Zeno today or not. Thank you, Goten. Beerus thought sincerely in his heart. And Son Goten continued to reply seriously. Yes, Master Zeno, that's what I think. So please take it back and let Master Beerus continue to take the position of the 7th universe gods of destruction. I think Master Beerus will definitely do better in the future. Hearing this, Rippon's Whis was also quite moved. It seems that I really didn't teach the wrong people in the past 2 months. 091 collect all the Super Dragon Balls and prepare for the Power Conference. Subscription required. Hey, do you really think so in your heart? Is Beerus really that good? Zeno obviously didn't believe it, looked at Son Goten with some doubts, and asked. In fact, as the supreme god of the universe, how could he not understand the 12 gods of destruction? Gods of Destruction Beerus from the 7th universe, Gods of Destruction Kampa from the 6th universe, and Gods of Destruction Rumshi from the 10th universe are notoriously lazy in the Gods of Destruction circle. Yes, Zeno. Son Goten continued to nod respectfully. Of course, such words are naturally nonsense. Beerus is probably the most irresponsible Gods of Destruction. It's just that such words can't be said nonsense now. If only Beerus was destroyed by Zeno, he wouldn't be too sad. But if the entire 7th universe is involved, it will be over. All right, Zeno nodded. Then he looked at Hit and asked, "What about you? Are you willing to become the new Gods of Destruction of the 6th universe? Just now I saw that Kampa was going to destroy you all because he lost the game. He is a narrow-minded Gods of Destruction. I think if you can become the 6th universe Gods of Destruction, you must do better than him." In fact, Zeno and the two guards saw everything that happened on the unnamed planet just now. I think the same as Son Goten. I also don't want to be Gods of Destruction in the 6th universe. It's not because the current Gods of Destruction is so good, but because I'm used to freedom, so I don't want to be bound by the identity of Gods of Destruction. If he still wants to destroy me, then I have nothing to say. Hit's voice was still so cold, but he also clearly refused to be Gods of Destruction. He felt more comfortable being a free-spirited killer than Gods of Destruction. Moreover, the killer's powerful perception made him feel that this 673 matter was not simple. And Kampa, who was kneeling on the ground, heard Hit's answer. He finally breathed a sigh of relief. Fortunately, Hit also rejected Mr. Zeno. If he had just nodded, perhaps he would have been cleared out by now. Have you rejected them all? I really can't figure it out. It's obviously a very good opportunity. Zeno murmured softly. But in fact, making them Gods of Destruction is not my real idea. Rather, he wanted to test the humans of these two universes. Human beings should have reverence for gods. So it was just a test for Son Goten and Hit. If the two of them didn't have any reverence for the Gods of Destruction of their own universes, and just agreed to become the new Gods of Destruction of their respective universes, then there would be no need for these two universes to exist. Fortunately, their choices and decisions are very wise. Okay, you all stand up too. Son Goten and Hit don't want to be Gods of Destruction. So go ahead and be Gods of Destruction. But if something like this happens again in the future, I will erase it for you without hesitation, even including your respective universes. Zeno spoke to Kampa and Beerus in a cold voice. But at this moment, this indifferent voice was like hearing the sounds of nature in their ears. Yes, thank you, Master Zeno. The two stood up happily. Just now it really scared the two of them to pieces. Beerus also glanced at Son Goten gratefully. The match between the two universes just now seemed to be quite interesting. It's a pity that I haven't seen enough and it's over. After a while, let's hold a competition between all universes. Zeno looked at the crowd and continued. Indeed, the match just now looked very good. Especially for him who often stays in the temple, he is more interested in such games. It's a pity because there are only 10 players in the two universes, and the gap in strength between the players is a bit too big. So it ended too quickly, and I didn't watch enough at all. If 12 universes participate in the competition together, the time of the competition will definitely be greatly extended, and the competition will also have a lot to watch. Yes, all of you. Beerus and Kampa quickly nodded respectfully. Well, let's decide like this. After I go back, I will discuss with the Grand Priest to hold a competition between the whole universe. But Goten and Hit, you all have to participate. I'm looking forward to your wonderful performance in the next all-universe competition. The expression on Zeno's face at this time has returned to the harmless appearance of humans and animals. But now, no one would think of him as an ignorant 3-year-old. Okay, Master Zeno, we will definitely participate when the time comes. Son Goten nodded. He just wants Zeno to get out of here quickly. Because every second this guy stays here, unexpected things may happen. Okay, in that case, shall we go first? Zeno nodded foolishly and was then stood up by two guards. Congratulations, Zeno-san. At that time, Beerus and Son Goten were also relieved. Okay, Zeno responded. And then the bodies of the three of them instantly turned into a brilliant streamer and went straight into the void. After watching Zeno disappear completely, Beerus and Kampa just sat down on the ground, panting heavily. His back was already completely wet with sweat. It's so scary. Almost wiped out, Beerus said in horror. It's really just a little bit worse. It seems that no matter what kind of aggressive method Kampa uses for such a stupid thing in the future, he will never agree to it again. Cut. The original joy of victory was washed away in an instant. Beerus frowned. A few minutes ago, he was still basking in the joy of defeating Kampa. However, the appearance of Master Zeno now makes him completely lose that kind of joy of victory. Beerus, the match just now was nothing at all. The match between the whole universe held by Master Zeno is a serious match. So this time I lost to you. I'm not sad at all, because next time our 6th universe will definitely beat your 7th universe. Kampa immediately spoke loudly to Beerus. It's not sad that it's fake. After all, he lost so badly just now. It doesn't matter if you lose the game, and you were almost wiped out by Master Zeno. Humph. Stop talking nonsense to me, fat pig. Leave the super wishing beads. You guys get lost. Beerus cursed directly. If it weren't for Kampa, a fat pig who insisted on competing, Master Zeno wouldn't be provoked today. Well, now it's time for another race between all universes. More importantly, I don't know what kind of punishment I will receive after losing BU. Heck, I know it even if you don't tell me. Let's go Vados, hum. Kampa shook her head arrogantly and left with everyone. After everyone in the 6th universe has left, Beerus stood up and found Son Goten in front of him. Then he said with a very serious face, Goten, thank you so much just now. If Master Zeno asked you just now, if you just nodded, maybe I have completely disappeared from this world now. From today onwards, you are the brother of my adoptive father and adoptive mother, Beerus. No matter what difficulties you encounter in the future, I will definitely try my best to solve them for you. Beerus's tone is very sincere. Just now, Son Goten rejected Master Zeno, which can be said to give him a chance to be reborn. This is simply the grace of regeneration, and Beerus naturally understands it very well. Master Beerus, you are too serious. I don't really have an idea of where Gods of Destruction is, and I think you're doing a pretty good job, Son Goten said with a smile. Ho ho ho. Goten, but to be honest, you just missed a very good opportunity. If you nodded just now, you have now become the serious Gods of Destruction of our 7th universe. Whis on the side smiled and said, and Whis' laughter immediately made Beerus' face extremely pale. Then he yelled at Whis. UBD, in that situation just now, you actually sued Mr. Zeno. Do you know that I was almost killed by you just now? Beerus was quite angry. But there is no other way. Angel's strength is too strong. Can't beat it again and again. If you continue to get mad at him, you may be sued again the next time you see Mr. Zeno. This feeling is really exasperating. Ho ho ho. Isn't Lord Beerus all right now? Whis still said with a smile. After Beerus vented a few more words, everyone also decided to leave the unknown planet. After all, the game has come to an end now, although the 7th universe won the final victory. But Beerus was never happy. I was almost scared to death by Master Zeno just now. How can I be happy? What's more, Master Zeno is going to hold another competition between all universes now. I don't know what kind of punishment will be received if I lose in the game. After returning to the universe cube, Beerus looked at Son Goten and asked, Goten, how do you take these super wishing beads? Would you like to let Whis help you? After what happened just now, Beerus's attitude towards Son Goten has obviously changed a lot. The 6 super wishing beads in front of me are each as big as the Earth. Although Goten's strength is very strong, but if you don't have superpowers, you can't take this kind of thing away. But Whis, who is an angel, can easily take away these wishing beads. No, I have a way to take it. Son Goten shook his head and said, although he doesn't have the superpower of Angel, the storage space of the system is still very easy to use. You can put down these few super wishing beads. I don't know where the last super wishing bead is. It won't be deliberately hidden by that guy Kampa. Beerus continued, if there are only 6 super wishing beads, it is useless. Only when all 7 super wishing beads are collected can the Super Shenron be summoned to make a wish. He is a little suspicious now that Kampa is not willing to let himself get super wishing beads, so he only took out 6 as a bet. No, it's a little unfair to your good brother here. Brother! In fact, he has been looking for super wishing beads for 10 years, but he has not found the last one. Son Goten said with a smile. As a traveler, he knows the whereabouts of the last super wishing bead better than anyone else. In fact, the unnamed planet in front of them is the last Super 4 planet. How do you know? Could it be that you know the whereabouts of the last super wishing bead? Sure enough, Beerus asked with a surprised face. And Whis next to him is also quite curious. If Sister and Master Kampa have spent years without finding the last super wishing bead, how will Son Goten know? You must know that my sister is a serious angel. What even angel can't find, Son Goten can find. He couldn't believe it. Actually, I didn't know that before, but I suddenly found out just now. Everyone, please take a good look at the unnamed planet we were on just now. Son Goten is also serious nonsense. If you want to pack and take all the 7 super wishing beads away, you must be fooling these people. Sure enough, everyone immediately looked over. Whoa! It turns out that this is the case. I didn't find it before. Whis was obviously the first to spot the problem. Later, Beerus and Kellen also discovered this problem. It turns out, the unknown planet is the 7th super wishing bead. It's no wonder that the fat guy hasn't found the last super wishing bead after searching for it for so many years. It turns out that this last moment is not in the 6th universe and the 7th universe at all. At this time, everyone has already reacted, and they all felt that Son Goten was thoughtful, and there was no doubt that Son Goten knew about this matter before. Then Son Goten flicked his fingertips, and an energy ball fell directly on the surface of the unknown planet. In an instant, the hard surface began to fall off quickly. A streak of golden light also shot out from the crack. In a short while, the unknown planet has become the last Super 4 planet. Then Son Goten had a thought, and 7 super wishing beads were put into the storage space of the system. Although Whis is very curious about Son Goten's ability, he doesn't have too much doubt. After all, Son Goten is very different from ordinary people. After 2 hours, everyone returned to the gods of Destruction World. Goten, how about you continue to train with Whis? I don't know when the match between the universe's master Xenomention will start, so take advantage of this time to improve your strength. Beerus said to Son Goten and the others. Although he has no doubts about Son Goten's strength. Even if you look at the 123.6 universes, apart from Gods of Destruction, there are probably not many people who can become his opponents. So he is still very relieved about Son Goten. But Klin and Trunks, their strength is quite satisfactory now. Such a strength is obviously not enough to participate in the all-universe competition. If they train with Whis, their strength can be improved quickly. Let's go back to Earth first. Lord Beerus, I have other ways to quickly improve the strength of a few of them. However, the competition held by Master Xeno will most likely require more contestants. During this time, I hope Master Beerus will think of a way to find more contestants with stronger strength. Son Goten spoke up. Although he knew that there were 10 contestants in the Tournament of Power, he couldn't say it with such certainty at this time. Makes sense. It looks like it's going to be busy for a while. Beerus could only nod. Then Son Goten and they also returned to Earth through instant transmission. Goten, in the days to come, please train me well. I don't want me to be a burden to you in that match between all universes. After returning to Earth, Trunks said to Son Goten with extremely firm eyes, today's game against the 6th universe. Although Master Beerus has always said that he performed very well. But he knew that it was because Frost and Gabe were too weak. When encountering a slightly stronger opponent, he can't deal with it at all, so he wants to become stronger as soon as possible. I don't want to drag Goten down in the next game. Okay, I will train you well during this time. And I've already thought of a way to make you fishy fast. Son Goten smiled and said to Trunks, as a scion, there are still many ways to become stronger. 092 summon Shinran Balanga. The tail grows again. Subscribe. Really? Goten, can you really make me stronger? Trunks showed an excited look on his face. As the last warrior in the future, he always wanted to become stronger in his dreams. But becoming stronger is really difficult, especially in the future time and space. He is no master at all and can only rely on his own exploration to continuously become stronger, to elevate one's realm. But it's really, really hard. Well, now Goten is so good, he can definitely help himself become stronger. Of course, I don't need to lie to you about this kind of thing. Son Goten nodded firmly and said, in fact, not only Trunks wants to become stronger, Son Goten also desires to become stronger than anyone else. At this time, although he may already have the strength of the gods of destruction level, but such strength is still a bit too weak for Zeno and the others. Still as small as a bug. If he had enough strength today, he would definitely not have to be so humble in front of Zeno. And if you want to become stronger now, you need to let yourself reach a higher level and realm. Perfect Ultra Instinct and Self-Intention can be used as whole cards. And Scion's basic power and transformation are fundamental. Because of the extreme will of freedom and self. Even if you practice to the extreme, it is absolutely impossible to compare with those guys like Zeno and Grand Priest. Growth and evolution are the foundation of change. So good. Trunks also nodded excitedly. At this time, Kellen on the side said, Goten, what about me? Kellen naturally wanted to become stronger as soon as possible. If it becomes stronger, it won't even lose the qualification to participate in the battle like today. At least one whose strength has improved to the level of that Scion Kale or Hit can be considered a real powerhouse. If his strength cannot be raised to that level, even if he participated in the game between the universes that the little man said, he would not be able to play any role. Clin, if you only improve your strength through training, your limit is too low. And as your strength becomes stronger and stronger, the speed of your cultivation has become slower and slower. The way to make you stronger now, 16, is to transform on the basis of the original. So this time, you should stay on the Earth and cooperate with number 21 to upgrade to become the ultimate artificial human. Son Goten has long thought about their respective paths of advancement. After all, Kling's limit is too low, although his strength has been greatly improved under the training of Angel Whis. But the further you get to the back, the slower the rate of rise. Now that you have become an artificial human, let's take the road of artificial human in the future. And with the development of science and technology, Kellen will have more and more room for improvement. Okay, after hearing Son Goten's words, Kellen also nodded quickly. Robot no. 21 did say before that if a purely robotic Kling is produced, how can two Klings give birth to a poor artificial human? On the 21st, I will leave this matter to you. Me and Trunks may go somewhere else, and hopefully when I get back, I'll be able to see a brand new Kling. Son Goten turned his head to look at Android 21 and said very seriously, Don't worry, leave this matter to me. In half a month at most, I'll let you see a completely new Kellen. Android 21 also said very firmly. After all, the technology she has mastered is no worse than Dr. Gero's. And it has inherited Dr. Gero's combination technology before. In the following time, Son Goten talked to Chi-Chi and Videl again. Let them go back to Bowsy Mountain quickly. As for Majin Buu, he is naturally responsible for protecting the safety of Chi-Chi and Videl. It is not known when Zeno's tournament of power will start, so they have to race against time to improve their strength. Neither Jiren nor Topo of the 11th universe is easy to deal with. Now in the 7th universe, apart from himself, there is no one who can compete with these two guys. Even the Dispo of the 11th universe is probably not something Kellen and the others can handle. I hope that after the transformation, Kling's strength can at least reach the level of Super Saiyan God. After letting everyone go, Trunks asked, Goten, what are we going to do now? Are we starting training? No. Even if you start training in such a short time now, you can't improve much. I want you to make a qualitative breakthrough, so we must go to Namek. 11's Son Goten shook his head and replied, If you want to break through to a higher level, you must now rely on the power of Namek Shinran. Namek. I heard from my mother and brother Gohan that in the future, I will also look for Namek. But I didn't find it. In fact, when Android 17 and 18 destroyed the Earth, he and Gohan went to look for Namek. but it was not found. And after Brother Gohan was killed by the artificial man, he searched again. Want to use Namek's Dragon Ball to revive Brother Gohan. But he was disappointed again. The Namek in the future time and space seemed to have disappeared. Hold my shoulder. We'll be right there. Son Goten spoke to Trunks. After mastering Supreme Kai's instant transmission, you can easily reach Namek. Trunks quickly grabbed Son Goten's shoulders. In the next second, the bodies of the two swayed a few times, then suddenly disappeared on the earth. When they appeared again, the two had arrived at an emerald green planet. Umbrella trees are everywhere. The lush environment is completely different from the barrenness of a few years ago. But such a change is not surprising because the main job of the Namek people is to plant this kind of trees and transform their own planet. Is this Namek? The environment is more beautiful than the Earth. Trunks looked around and said in surprise, I didn't expect that there is such a beautiful planet besides the Earth in the universe. And just a minute after the two appeared, 3 or 4 Namek men came towards them. Excuse me. Who are you? What's up with Namek? The older Namek man looked at Son Goten and Trunks and asked. After seeing Son Goten, there was also a look of surprise on his face. This face seemed very familiar, but he forgot exactly where he saw it. We are here to look for your great elder, and we need help with a small matter. Please let us know. Son Goten also said very politely. The people of Namek are very peaceful. It is no exaggeration to say that they are like kind elves in the universe. Many times it also helps other planets. So even if these people have little power, Son Goten still respects them. Are you looking for our great elder? Okay, then I will inform you. What is your name? The Namek in front of him nodded, and then asked again. I always feel that the child in front of me looks very familiar. My name is Son Goten. Son Goten also said without any concealment. Son Goten? I remembered. You should be the son of Son Goku, who fought Frieza more than 10 years ago. And Gohan, it's your brother. After hearing this rather strange name, the people of Namek immediately remembered. The man who fought in their Namek and Frieza a dozen years ago was called Son Goku. There is also a child named Son Gohan. 10 years have passed now. The child in front of me must be the son of Son Goku. And their names are so similar. Yes, Son Goten nodded. Okay. If this is the case, then there is no need to report. I will take you there directly. I know Son Goku's son is definitely not a bad guy, the Namek said excitedly. Then they didn't report directly, but took them to find the elder. More than 10 years ago, Frieza and the others came to Namek to look for wishing beads. Killed many Namek people. If it weren't for the help of Son Goku and Son Gohan, it is estimated that Namek would have been wiped out long ago. In that battle, the Namek ball was destroyed though. But at least all of them are still alive. And now Namek has been rebuilt. For Son Goku, they're actually grateful. After walking for 10 minutes, a strange building that looks like a snail can be seen appeared in front of my eyes. This is the residence of the Great Elder. Please follow me in, the old man Namek said. Then the three walked in. After he didn't go in, the reporter also introduced Son Shiwu to the Great Elder Lang Maxing. So it's the benefactor's son. It really looks exactly like Mr. Goku. I'm so sorry. We couldn't be of much help when Mr. Goku was killed by that monster, the Great Elder said with a little shame. In fact, 8 years ago, they could clearly feel that Goku and Gohan were killed by that monster on Earth. But because the Namek people themselves are not a fighting nation, so at that time, they couldn't help at all. It's okay. This has nothing to do with you, Son Goten said with a smile. By the way, I wonder if Dend is used to living on your Earth? How is he now? The Great Elder continued to ask. Dend is a kid they all love. So in many cases, they also think that the Earth is so dangerous, and they don't know how Dend, the god of the Earth, is living. He's fully used to the life of the Celestial now, and he's doing very well. So the Great Elder doesn't have to worry about Dend. Son Goten continued to explain with a smile. That's good. That's good, if I'm not wrong. The reason you came to Namek this time is probably for the wishing beads. The first elder nodded in relief, and then he guessed the purpose of Son Goten and Trunks right away. Because there should be nothing else that can attract Son Goten on the planet Mike except wishing Zhu. Really, because some major events related to the survival of the universe will happen in this universe recently, so we must use Shinron Polona to enhance our strength. Son Goten also said without hiding anything. Okay, I trust you guys. The Great Elder nodded. With a wave of his hand, a wishing bead the size of a field ball appeared in front of Son Goten and the others. Since Frieza killed countless Namek people in order to get the wishing beads more than 10 years ago, the elders decided not to keep the wishing beads separately. Then he hides the wishing beads alone. Beerus, go help Goten and the others to summon Balanga. After walking out of the room, since I found an empty place. After Beerus, Ula Ula spoke a bunch of Namek. The originally clear sky turned into night in an instant. A golden light also rose into the sky. In a moment, it turned into a green toad-shaped Shinron. Say your wishes. I can help you realize any wish. Shinron's thick voice also sounded. Goten, what wish do you want to make? Tell me now. By the way, Shinron Palinga can grant 3 wishes. Beerus said to Son Goten and Trunks. First, let me and Trunks' tails grow back. Secondly, let me have eternal life. Son Goten spoke immediately. That's right, and the way Trunks improves his strength is to let his tail grow back. Then let him try his Super Saiyan 4 form. The current Trunks, the basic combat power is absolutely nothing to say, and it has reached the 363 limit of Super Saiyan 2. So now as long as Trunks' tail grows back, it shouldn't be too difficult to become Super Saiyan 4. And anyway, the blood of Saiyan royalty runs through Trunks. As for eternal life, this wish is indeed a bit low. But Son Goten had other ideas for granting this wish. He wants to check the bug of Cyril's 2-star Shinron. After hearing this, Beerus didn't hesitate, and directly conveyed Son Goten's meaning to Shinron. Beep, a crimson light flashed from Shinron's eyes. Immediately afterwards, Son Goten and Trunks felt their pants pushed up. The last furry tail grew straight out. Suddenly, both of them had a very unaccustomed feeling. The face turned red all of a sudden, and there is always a feeling of exposing the most important things. This feeling is shameful. Then Shinron's thick voice sounded again. Okay, your 2 previous wishes have been fulfilled. As for eternal life, I have extended your life as much as possible. However, with my ability, I cannot elevate your life to eternity. Then, there will be a period later. After the deep voice fell, Shinron also instantly turned into 7 golden rays of light. Then it fired in 7 different directions. The night also turns into day in an instant. Scion's tail? What's the use of this? Trunks looked at the tail behind him and asked with some confusion. His mother once told him that his tail was pulled out when he was born, because this thing will cause a lot of trouble. But why do you want to let your tail grow again by making a wish? The tail is where the power of Scion converges. Regrowing Scion's tail is to channel out the more powerful calendar area in our body. You'll know later. Son Goten smiled and spoke. In fact, not long after he crossed over, he asked his mother why he didn't have a tail. Chi-Chi said he was born with his tail removed too, because seeing Gohan turned into a gorilla at that time was really scary. This also let him know that Son Goten had a tail when he was a child. It's just that it was pulled out when it was born. Afterwards, Son Goten bid farewell to Beerus and the Great Elder. Go directly to the Supreme Kai world with instant transmission. Because if Namek wants to become Super Saiyan 4, it may destroy the entire planet, and it could kill innocent people. But the Supreme Kai world is much stronger. Supreme Kai and them are also not easy to kill. Whizzing. The instant appearance of the 2 of them startled the old Supreme Kai, who was peeking at pornographic books. Then he quickly hid his baby away. Goten, Trunks, why do you have time to come to God Realm? 093, the first Super Saiyan 4 is born. Subscription required. Supreme Kai Asin hurried forward to say hello. I have something to do with old Supreme Kai. Son Goten replied with a smile. Your strength has become so strong now. If I'm not mistaken, your current strength should soon catch up with Lord Beerus, right? Is there anything else you need my help with? The old Supreme Kai rolled his eyes at Son Goten and then said angrily, This guy is just an ordinary Scion. At such a young age, even though he already possessed a combat power comparable to gods of destruction. This is something that has almost never happened in the entire 7th universe, or even in all universes. It's like a monstrous existence. And now Son Goten's strength, I can't help anything. Certainly, the old Supreme Kai helped me develop my potential last time. It really benefited me a lot. Without you helping me develop my potential, I wouldn't be able to have such a strong combat power now. So this time, I want to ask you to help Trunks develop its potential. You are also very clear that adults across the country will hold a competition between the entire universe after a while. If he loses the game, I think he is very likely to erase all the universes he lost. So helping Trunks develop its potential is actually helping our 7th universe. Son Goten explained without haste. After hearing this, the old Supreme Kai obviously changed his expression. He has lived for tens of millions of years, so he naturally knows Master Zeno's style of doing things. He does things more vigorously than Lord Beerus and the others. The same kind of interest. In fact, what Son Goten said is absolutely correct. If you lose in the competition held by Master Zeno, then there is indeed a risk of being destroyed. After thinking for a while, he also nodded without hesitation. Okay, then I'll help him develop his potential. However, to what extent he can improve depends on his own talent. He naturally hopes that the strength of Trunks can become stronger. Perhaps in this way, we can achieve excellent results in the competition held by Master Zeno. Thank you, old Supreme Kai. Trunks also clasped their fists to express their thanks. Then, under the arrangement of the old Supreme Kai, Trunks sat cross-legged on the ground and began to develop his potential. In this way, time goes by day. In a blink of an eye, 3 days passed. The development potential of Trunks has also been completed. Okay, it's over. Trunks, you can feel the power you have now. Old Supreme Kai spoke to Trunks. At this time, he still looked energetic, completely different from the last time he helped Son Goten develop his potential. This shows that this time, helping Trunks develop their potential did not consume too much physical energy. This also shows that the potential of Trunks is actually not as good as that of Goten. After all, it only took him 3 days to develop his potential. Okay, all right. Trunks nodded immediately. Then he stood up and clenched his fists. A vast force burst out from the body in an instant. It didn't turn into the form of Super Saiyan, but the strength is already ridiculously strong. The moment the breath erupted, terrifying air waves spread directly in all directions. Supreme Kai and Jebit quickly put their arms in front of their faces. But that powerful air wave still pushed the two of them a distance of several tens of feet. Son Goten stood in front of the old Supreme Kai, but the two of them were unaffected. After all, Son Goten is too strong. Ha! Trunks roared again, and the aura in his body showed an explosive increase again. The airwaves under the feet spread in all directions. The ground began to tremble violently. This kind of momentum is obviously stronger than when he turned into Super Saiyan 2. Okay, what a powerful force. Is this the power after the potential is developed? It's incredible. After raising his breath, Trunks felt the strength in his body, and his face showed an uncontrollable excitement. Although he knows that after developing his potential, his strength will definitely increase, but it was beyond his expectation to be reminded to such a powerful level. This feeling is stronger than when he turned into Super Saiyan 2. If it becomes Super Saiyan 2 on this basis, it is hard to imagine how strong it will be. After a good feeling of the power I have now, Trunks quickly withdrew his breath. After all, he would be embarrassed if he messed up his God realm too much. After taking back his breath, Trunks quickly found Son Goten and the old Supreme Kai. Afterwards, he said with great excitement, "Thank you, Mr. Supreme Kai. This feeling is really too powerful. I never thought I could reach this level of strength without becoming a Super Saiyan." Looking at the extremely jealous Trunks, the old Supreme Kai said something lightly. "You don't have to be so excited. Although your potential is good, there is a world of difference between you and Son Goten. Perhaps this is because there is no comparison between people. Both of them are scion of mixed blood, but their strength and talent are vastly different. Haha, I know. I am very satisfied to be able to become so strong." Trunks didn't pay much attention to old Supreme Kai's words, because he never thought of surpassing Son Goten from the beginning to the end. Because that is impossible. Okay, Trunks, your basic strength has become very strong now. If nothing else, I think you are now fully qualified to become Super Saiyan 4. Son Goten patted Trunks on the shoulder, then spoke seriously. The purpose of letting their tails grow out before is to be able to become Super Saiyan 4. This is also the plan he told Trunks before to make him stronger. If Saiyan wants to become stronger, there are actually two paths he can choose. One is just like Son Goku and Vegeta in the Dragon Ball Super. Let your own realm improve and become Super Saiyan God, and the supreme form of Super Saiyan God. The other is to evolve bloodlines like Son Goku and Vegeta in Dragon Ball GT. Let the tail grow back and become a Super Saiyan 4. In fact, which of these two forms is stronger? Many people have different opinions, and there is no accurate answer. Because of the increase of Super Saiyan 4 and Super Saiyan God, it was not clearly stated in the original book. Of course, it doesn't matter whether it's Super Saiyans or Super Saiyan God. All are increases on top of the basic combat power. If the basic combat power is too weak, it will not be of much use if it becomes Super Saiyan 4 or Super Saiyan God. The reason why he chose Super Saiyan 4 this time is because it is easier and has a higher chance of success. What? Super Saiyan 4? What kind of form is that? I've never heard of it before. After hearing Son Goten's words, Trunks was surprised. He had never heard of the transformation of Super Saiyan 4 before. His current strength has only reached Super Saiyan 2. Moreover, this form has lasted for a long time, and it has never been able to continue to break through. Now, Goten actually wants to help him break through to Super Saiyan 4? It was too shocking to him. Too unbelievable. Super Saiyan 4? Supreme Kai and Jebet also looked puzzled. Obviously, they have never heard of this form. Only the old Supreme Kai frowned slightly, as if he knew something. But he didn't speak. It's normal that you haven't heard of Super Saiyan 4's form. I also knew this form by accident, and it just so happens that I know the transformation method of this form. Son Goten could only reply perfunctorily. The old Supreme Kai secretly glanced at Son Goten. Apparently, he thinks Son Goten knows too much. It's not like a 10-year-old kid at all. So, what do I need to do? I can accept anything as long as it makes me stronger, Trunks said firmly. Although I don't know what Super Saiyan 4 is like. But what is certain is that if he can succeed, his strength will definitely improve qualitatively. Super Saiyan 2 is already so powerful. As for Super Saiyan 4, after directly surpassing Super Saiyan 3, you can know how strong it is if you think about it. It's actually really easy. Wait a while, and I will create a massive energy. You just need to look at his energy. Then you may turn into the form of a giant ape, and then try to retain your consciousness as much as possible. However, after all, the blood of the Saiyan royal family flows in your body. Maybe you will not lose your mind because of becoming a giant ape, Son Goten said with a smile. Because at the beginning of Dragon Ball Z, Vegeta once said, with the blood of the royal family flowing in his body, he will not lose his sanity because of his transformation into a giant ape. Okay. Trunks immediately nodded firmly. There is still some expectation in my heart. At this size, he has never been transformed into a great ape. But I heard Brother Gohan talk about this before. A Saiyan who has not had its tail pulled out can turn into a gorilla when the moon is full. You two brats, don't destroy my god realm later. The old Supreme Kai could only speak helplessly from the sidelines. After becoming a giant ape, Saiyan's destructive power is quite fierce, especially Son Goten and Trunks with their strong strength. Ready? Trunks, Son Goten asked seriously. Well, go ahead, Goten. No matter what happens, I will be able to persevere. Trunks also nodded firmly. At this time, a silver-white energy group also condensed in the palm of Son Goten. Like a clear lake under the sun, it is sparkling. Then Son Goten threw the energy ball into the air. His eyes were looking elsewhere. If two people become giant apes at the same time, and they can't control their rationality, that then the entire God realm will definitely be destroyed. Even for the entire universe, it will be a catastrophe. So he is going to let Trunks complete the transformation of Super Saiyan 4 first. When the time comes to see the effect, then decide whether you want to transform or not. After all, his own power is a bit too strong. Once out of control, no one will be able to control him. Even if Beerus comes, it may not be able to control it. This is an extremely dangerous thing. Afterwards, Trunks immediately raised his head to look at the mass of silver energy. Under the sunlight, the energy cluster exudes a dazzling light. Trunks just stared straight at him. After staring at it for a few seconds, the whole person's expression suddenly froze. Seems to be half attracted by something. Immediately after that, he clenched his fist violently. At this moment, new red cracks appeared in the eyes. In a short while, both eyes have become completely red, braving red light, just like a demon coming out of hell. Trunks immediately grinned, his face full of ferocity. Boom, boom, boom. The sound of the heartbeat can be heard, and the chest is violently heaving. With the sound of Trunks' heartbeat, everyone held their breath. It seems to be looking forward to the next magical thing to happen. Boom, 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 boom. The sound of the heart beating became faster and faster, and the heaving of the chest became more and more violent. Trunks seemed to be losing control of his emotions. Oh, 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 accompanied by a strange sound in the throat. Bark! The clothes on Trunks were instantly torn, and his body began to swell at this moment. There are also black hairs. This transformation, how does it feel like the legendary werewolf? Jebbet murmured softly. Funny how the legendary werewolf transformed after the full moon. Hopefully, after Trunks transforms, I'll lose my mind. Supreme Kaiasin also said in a low voice. Almost a moment's work. Trunks had become the size of a small mountain, completely turned into the form of a giant ape. There was a fierce red light in his eyes. Roar! He suddenly roared at the crowd. That scorching breath can suffocate a person to death. Then he raised his fist the size of an ordinary stone mill and was about to smash it down at Son Goten. Lost? Out of control? Looking at Trunks at this time, Supreme Kaiasin and Jebbet all looked worried. This state is completely lost consciousness. Not a good sign. Hey Trunks, keep your sanity. You are the son of Saiyan Prince Vegeta, and it should be perfectly possible to remain sane in this form. Looking at Trunks with red eyes, Son Goten said lightly, if Trunks can't keep his sanity in this state, it was impossible to become Super Saiyan. In the end, he could only be forced to knock him out. After hearing the voice of Son Goten, Trunks' body jerked around. The originally hideous expression seemed to calm down in an instant. I am Trunks. I am Vegeta's son. Trunks murmured to himself. Obviously, his sanity began to recover. The scarlet light in the eyes also began to recede a little bit. Just a few seconds later, the red light in his eyes had completely disappeared. It was clear that Trunks had regained control of his sanity and regained full consciousness. Son Goten also had a smile on his face. It looks like it's about to succeed. If you want to become Super Saiyan 4, the most difficult thing is to control your own sanity while becoming a giant ape. But for them who have the blood of the Saiyan royal family, it seems that it is not difficult. It is a bit difficult for the inferior Saiyan. Goten, what should I do next? After fully regaining consciousness, the great ape Trunks looked at Son Goten and asked, now start bursting with energy and transform into Super Saiyan Form 0. Son Goten spoke up. Okay. Trunks nodded, then began to rapidly increase their energy. In an instant, bunches of golden halos lingered around the body. In a moment, the golden halo completely wrapped Trunks' body, and at that moment, Son Goten also felt that the breath of Trunks began to rise rapidly. It looks like it succeeded. After feeling the anger of Trunks, a smile appeared on the corner of Son Goten's mouth. 094 Breakthrough. Perfect Ultra Instinct. Subscribe. What a powerful breath. Is this really Trunks? After Supreme, Kaiasin, and the others sensed this breath, they were also incomparably shocked. You must know that just a few days ago on the unknown planet, the strength of Trunks was still very weak. Of course, this is weak when compared to those monsters like Son Goten and Hit. If compared with them, it is ridiculously strong. But now, the breath of Trunks has obviously improved qualitatively. This makes them have to sigh. Scion is really a perverted nation, especially the scions of this generation. They are all monsters. Why has never heard of such an insanely powerful scion before? Just when several people were in shock. The golden light around Trunks' body began to dissipate little by little. His appearance was also presented in front of everyone little by little. At this time, the appearance of Trunks has undergone tremendous changes. The whole body is covered with red hair, and the body becomes stronger. It's just that his hair color remains the same blue as before, which is completely different from Son Goku and Vegeta's hair color after they became Super Saiyan. It's just that the pants that were damaged by turning into a giant ape just now are intact again. This makes Son Goten quite strange. This is probably the unsolved mystery of the Dragon Ball world. Anyway, after every transformation, the clothes are damaged, but the pants will never be destroyed. Just like the Hulk's underpants. This is the form of Super Saiyan 4. I can feel the strength in my body, and I have once again got a qualitative improvement, which is completely different from before. Really too strong? Trunks clenched his fists, feeling the power surging in his body, and couldn't be more excited. I have never felt such a powerful force. He didn't even think that one day he could become so strong. Is this the transformation of Super Saiyan 4? Such a big change has happened. It's amazing. Supreme Kai and Jebbit were also shocked. As for the old Supreme Kai, although there were some changes in his complexion, the fluctuations were not great. That's nice, Trunks. I didn't expect you to successfully transform into the form of Super Saiyan 4 so quickly. Now you can be said to have truly stepped into the ranks of masters. Son Goten complimented Trunks with a smile. Being able to become Super Saiyan 4 so quickly is obviously related to Trunks' royal blood. It would be great if I could become Super Saiyan 4 so quickly. But now he is still a little worried. For one thing, he doesn't have the royal blood of Trunks. Secondly, he has already fusioned the blood of Chuanchao Saiyan, which is a more violent blood. After transforming into a giant ape with 350 bodies, I don't know if I can control my reason. At this time, Trunks also recovered from the excitement, looked at Son Goten, and said gratefully, "Thank you so much, Goten. Without your help, I would never have reached this level in my life, and it would have been impossible to even know the form of Super Saiyan 4. For Son Goten, he really is grateful from the heart. If Son Goten hadn't rescued him, he would have been killed by the Black Goku long ago. It is impossible for Xiao Wu and the others to still be alive. It is even more impossible for the jungler to break through his own limit and reach the level of Super Saiyan 4. You don't have to belittle yourself, Trunks. Your talent is still very strong. Even without my guidance and help, you can definitely reach this level with your own strength." Son Goten continued with a smile. "Goten, after turning into Super Saiyan 4, I feel the power in my body is ridiculously strong. I don't know how far it is from you now. Can I ask you a few tricks?" Feeling the powerful strength of his body, Trunks is also ready to take this opportunity to test Son Goten's strength. Although she knows that even if she becomes Super Saiyan 4, she will never be Son Goten's opponent. Even more, he never thought of surpassing Son Goten with this form. He just wanted to feel the power of Son Goten purely. See how big the gap is between them? Sure, but you'd better be mentally prepared. Although your strength has become a lot stronger after you become Super Saiyan 4. But compared with me, the gap is still very big. Son Goten didn't refuse and nodded immediately. However, I still reminded Trunks in advance. Even if he doesn't need to turn into Super Saiyan form, he is not comparable to Trunks. Okay, I know. I'm just purely curious. Trunks nodded. Then his face became serious in an instant, and while clenching his fists tightly, golden arrogance spewed out from his body. The powerful force also spread instantly. The airwaves under your feet spread round and round. So strong. These guys are all too outrageous. Feeling the breath of Trunks, Supreme Kai and the others were hit again. In fact, just a few months ago, they thought they were the most advanced gods in the universe. It is absolutely impossible for humans to surpass them. But after such a short time, powerful humans appeared one by one. And their Supreme Kai seems to have long lost their former style. Now it seems that being a foil to these guys is a bit unqualified. After bursting out with all his breath, Trunks looked at Son Goten and asked, "Goten, don't you need to transform?" The reason why he asked this is because the power of Super Saiyan 4 is really strong. At least in his opinion, this estimate is very powerful. "No, just attack with all your strength." Son Goten shook his head and replied. After Fusion acquired Broly's bloodline, his basic strength continued to grow every day. After each battle, the strength will be greatly improved, especially after training with Whis for more than a month. His basic strength has reached a rather terrifying level. It is no exaggeration to say that even the Ultra Blue Son Goku and Vegeta in the Dragon Ball Super League cannot beat the normal him. As for the Super 4 Trunks who got up early, their strength should be similar to that of Super Blue Son Goku. Even if it is strong, it cannot be too strong. So there is no need to change at all. Good. Trunks nodded seriously. He believed in Goten's strength. Since Goten is so confident, he must have the capital of self-confidence. Then the body jumped out directly. In an instant, he was in front of Son Goten. There was a golden light around the body, and he punched out with all his strength. Faced with the full attack of the Trunks, Son Goten's face did not change in any way. He just stretched out his right palm and carried out a calm block. Snapped. Rumble. The moment the fists met, the ground under Son Goten's feet collapsed instantly. Ripple-like circles spread to the surroundings, continuously collapsing. But even so, Son Goten's body remained motionless. Obviously, even in the state of Super 4, Trunks can't match the normal Son Goten. What a terrifying power! Is this Goten's strength? Just using normal strength and then I hit with all my strength. It seems that the gap between us is still unimaginably large. Goten boy is really terrifying. Shocked, Trunks immediately withdrew his fist. This contest is over. Even if he tried his best next, it would be absolutely impossible for him to defeat King. This unfathomable gap made him lack the courage to continue to challenge. If the gap is too big, then the fight is pointless. After retracting the fist, Trunks let out a long breath. Then it went straight back to normal. Now he has successfully transformed into Super Saiyan 4, and he has fully mastered this power. Although he feels like he can be in Super Saiyan 4 anytime, anywhere, and this form is different from the previous Super 2, it doesn't seem to consume too much physical energy. But apart from fighting, there is no need to continue in that state. After seeing the battle, Supreme Kai Asin and Old World Wong sure also hurried to Son Goten. Afterwards, Supreme Kai asked, "Goten, I see your tail has grown. Do you want to be like Trunks and change into the form just now?" In fact, he was still very curious. Goten's strength is so powerful. I don't know how much strength will be improved after becoming this form. If nothing else, it should be far above gods of destruction. I don't think it's necessary for the time being, because I'm not sure I can control this form. If I get out of control, I may destroy the entire god realm. Besides, I haven't encountered too strong an opponent so far, so I don't plan to transform into Super 4 for the time being. Son Goten shook his head and said to Supreme Kai. In fact, he was still very afraid, because his basic strength is really too strong. Once it becomes a giant ape and gets out of control, the entire god realm will definitely be destroyed, and these few people in front of him couldn't control him. Furthermore, so far, no enemies that are too powerful have been encountered, so there is no need to change into Super Saiyan 4 form. Now let's see Jiren's strength in the Tournament of Power. If that guy really has the power to surpass gods of destruction, then he will definitely become a Super 4. Say, that's what you say. Don't change now. After hearing that the god realm might be destroyed, Supreme Kai immediately agreed. This is too dangerous. Okay, our purpose of coming to the Supreme Kai world has also been achieved. There are other things to do now, so don't bother Lord Supreme Kai. Son Goten spoke to Supreme Kai and the others. Then it directly took Trunks back to Earth through instant transmission, and back to the capsule company. Android 21 and Bulma are teaming up to create the pure robot Kling. Even if the two of them join forces, it will take at least 10 days. Son Goten and Trunks didn't bother them. Ducklin also walked out of the research room immediately after feeling the aura of the two of them. See, the moment he got to Trunks, Kellen felt the difference in Trunks. Trunks, you have become much stronger. I didn't expect you to become so much stronger after only 3 days. Clint looked at Trunks in surprise and said he could feel a qualitative change in Trunks. This shows that Trunks has definitely made a new breakthrough in these 3 days. Yes, Uncle Kling, it's all Goten's help. Actually, without Goten's help, it would have been impossible to know the form of Super Saiyan 4. Trunks also scratched his head in embarrassment and replied, Super Saiyan 4? It sounds amazing, seeing that you have become so strong. I can't wait to become the ultimate form. Kellen looked at the two of them and said with a smile, can you let the two of them drop themselves too far? Clint, Trunks and I are going to mental time training for 2 years. Although Trunks has mastered the form of Super Saiyan 4 and has also been developed potential, but it takes 2 years of hard training in the spiritual time room to better control this power. Son Goten said to Kling, for a Saiyan, the basic combat power is always the most important. If you train in the spiritual time room for 2 years, then after coming out, he promises that his strength will surpass all gods of destruction. If it becomes Super Saiyan 4 at that time, maybe even Angel will have the power to fight. Well, you guys go. I'll tell Bulma and Chi-Chi later. Clint nodded. Then the two went directly to the Temple of Heaven. Although according to the previous regulations of the Spiritual Time House, everyone can only enter for 2 days in a lifetime, because once it exceeds 2 days, you will be trapped in the different space of the Spiritual Time House forever. But when the strength reaches a certain level, you can break even the dimensional wall in the Time House and come out from it. And now Son Goten and Trunks both have the power to break the dimensional wall of the spiritual time room. So the spiritual time room has no restrictions on them. As time goes by, Son Goten and Trunks in the spiritual time room are also practicing desperate training. A day passed in the blink of an eye outside. But in the spiritual time room, a full year has passed. And in this year, the basic combat effectiveness of Trunks has also been greatly improved, especially with Son Goten's guidance and sparring. His speed has improved even faster. The form of Super Saiyan 4 is also more stable. Originally, Super Saiyan 4 was an extremely stable form. At this moment, he was trained by Trunks to the point of perfection. In the past year in the Spiritual Time House, apart from eating and sleeping, the two have been training desperately almost every moment. At the moment, Trunks is training desperately alone. But Son Goten stood there, seemingly thinking about something. He has been in this state for 3 months. He doesn't train basic combat power every day, but seems to be comprehending something. Because he doesn't need to train deliberately. After fusion has Broly's blood, his basic combat power will basically increase rapidly every day. And now he's just thinking about the perfect Ultra Instinct. Whis' 1 month training before also gave him a better understanding of Ultra Instinct. At this time, I've been concentrating on comprehension for 3 months. He also seems to have finally grasped the true meaning of the perfect Ultra Instinct. Right now, Son Goten suddenly closed his eyes. The whole person and momentum are in a very calm state. Trunks, who was training on the sidelines, felt that Son Goten was so calm. So he stopped training and looked over curiously. I saw silver lines and aura suddenly appeared around Son Goten's body. And this aura is getting more and more turbulent. The next second, Son Goten suddenly opened his eyes. A silver crescent-shaped light flashed through the pupils. Immediately afterwards, the black hair began to move automatically without wind. The silver aura around the body is also getting brighter and brighter, changing little by little. At the beginning, with the surge of spiritual energy, the surrounding temperature suddenly increased a lot. But at this moment, the temperature began to drop a little bit. Brush! In the next second, Son Goten's black hair directly turned silvery white. The silver aura around the body is also more radiant, and the aura of the whole person becomes calm. So, is that the perfect Ultra Instinct? Seeing this, Trunks murmured in surprise. 095 Beerus Decision, Resurrecting Son Goku and Vegeta. Subscribe because Goten told himself about Ultra Instinct before. Moreover, half a month's time was drawn. Let him try to see if he can comprehend it. It's a pity, perhaps because of his lack of comprehension ability, half a month had no effect. In the end, I could only give up. Goten said at the time that he used the imperfect Ultra Instinct when fighting 6th Universe hit. If the Ultra Instinct at that time was in an imperfect state, then it is obvious that the current Goten has realized the perfect Ultra Instinct. This state of calm and wavelessness is exactly the same as Goten described before. Son Goten let out a long sigh of relief, and then looked around his body those gorgeous ages. Finally, the perfect Ultra Instinct. It does feel a lot stronger than the Ultra Instinct. Feeling the power of God flowing from his body, Son Goten also whispered to himself lightly. It's just a pity that if you want to maintain this state, you must be as calm as water. In fact, in battle, the perfect Ultra Instinct does not have much advantage, because it is very difficult for Saiyan to maintain a calm state in battle. It is estimated that this is why Son Goku abandoned this sense of freedom in the Dragon Ball Super Season 2 manga. Finally comprehend the Ultra Instinct that can control emotions. However, being able to comprehend Ultra Instinct in such a fast time is quite a remarkable thing. As for the Ultra Instinct that controls emotions, it can be studied slowly in the future. After all, Ultra Instinct is just one of his trump cards. The real power must also rely on the Super Saiyan's own power zone. At this time, Trunks also walked in front of Son Goten. Goten, congratulations on finally comprehending the perfect Ultra Instinct. You guys are really ridiculously strong. You can comprehend such an unfathomable ability in such a short period of time. While congratulating, Trunks did not forget to praise Son Goten. Only those who have personally experienced Ultra Instinct know how difficult it is to master. That is an extremely mysterious realm. It is too difficult for those who understand to truly achieve peace of mind, especially for Saiyan. The main thing is that was taught me last time, otherwise I wouldn't be able to master the perfect Ultra Instinct so quickly. Son Goten just smiled back. Now that I have mastered the perfect Ultra Instinct, even in this state, it must be very easy to defeat Jiren. But he will never be complacent just because he can beat Jiren and stop there, because there are too many people stronger than Jiren. And now they have had contact with Zeno. Then maybe there will be more and more contacts in the future, and more dangers will follow. Therefore, the pace of improving strength cannot be stopped for a moment. Anyway, you are really amazing. If Uncle Goku can see how powerful you are, he will be very pleased. Trunks continued. At the same time, I also sighed in my heart, wondering if my father would feel relieved when he saw himself now. Okay, let's continue training while we still have time. Son Goten may not be interested in Son Goku's comfort. The only thing I am interested in now is to keep getting stronger. In the next time, he plans to try whether he can use Ultra Instinct on the basis of his self-consciousness. If he can succeed at that time, his strength will undergo another qualitative change. Fusion of two divine skills may be very likely to reach the level of angel. Okay. Trunks also nodded quickly, and at this time in the Gods of Destruction world, Gods of Destruction Beerus and Whis finished buckets of noodles. The two sat contentedly on the deck chair. Master Beerus, several days have passed. Goten said before when he left the God realm, let you go to the universe to find some players to participate in the competition. But you don't seem to take what Goten said seriously. Whis turned his head and glanced at the contented Beerus, and then said lightly, now there are only 5 fighters on the Earth, including Goten. If the competition held by Master Zeno requires 10 or more contestants per universe, then they won't be able to find so many players in a while. Lord Beerus is just too lazy. What's the rush? Master Zeno hasn't announced the number of contestants yet, and there is no news for so many days. Maybe Master Zeno has forgotten about this matter. Beerus said impatiently. It was so comfortable to stay in the God realm and eat delicious food, so he didn't bother to waste time. It's true, Mr. Jail King may have really forgotten. I'm really worrying too much. Even if I can't gather the number of participants, the most I can do is destroy the entire 7th universe. This matter doesn't seem to have a great impact on me, and I shouldn't worry about it. Was said a little bit weirdly. Then he leaned directly on the recliner, closed his eyes, and began to enjoy the eye bath. Anyway, even if the entire 7th universe is destroyed by Master Zeno, their angel will be fine. After I heard this, Beerus sat up suddenly. His eyes are not as lazy as before. Whis was absolutely right. They are very clear about Master Zeno's character, and he does things completely on a whim. Maybe he has forgotten now, but what should he do if he suddenly remembered in a few days? If it is true that each universe needs 10 or more players, then the 7th universe will not be able to get them together. It is very likely that it will be directly destroyed by Master Zeno on the spot. What's more, if you randomly invite 10 people to participate, you may be destroyed on the spot because you don't respect Mr. Zeno. Although it is very comfortable to lie down like this. But it can't go on like this. At that time, it will be troublesome if it is really destroyed by Master Zeno. Whis, hurry up and help me see which other planets in our 7th universe have powerful fighting talents. Beerus hurriedly said to Whis. Oh, wasn't Lord Beerus not worried at all just now? Why are you asking this all of a sudden now? Isn't it nice to lie down and sunbathe? Whis glanced at Beerus and said angrily. Just now I kindly reminded him not to take it seriously, but it only took a few seconds. Then I changed my mind. Stop talking nonsense, hurry up. Hurry up and see who are the stronger humans in our 7th universe besides Son Goten on Earth. Beerus cursed and continued. Although he is gods of destruction of a universe, he doesn't know much about the 7th universe. After all, he spends most of his time sleeping, and after waking up, he randomly destroys several planets. There is simply no extra time to learn about this universe. Oh, you are really troublesome enough. After Whis complained, maybe he could only take out his angel staff, and then began to look seriously. After watching for a few minutes, he said to Beerus, Master Beerus, there are not many humans in our 7th universe who are talented in fighting, and there are even fewer powerful ones. I looked at it just now, and there are a few fighters on Sita's side, but their strength is a little too weak. Maybe even the current Klin can't compare. If you participate in this kind of universe-level competition, I'm afraid you won't be able to make it to the stage. There are also some remnants of Frisia's subordinates, but their strength is ridiculously weaker. After hearing Whis' words, Beerus frowned instantly. Unexpectedly, in such a vast universe, there are so few humans suitable for fighting. And if those guys can't even match Klin's fighting power, then it is meaningless to participate in this competition. Because they don't work at all. Beerus propped his chin and stood up from the recliner. Then it started wandering around. After thinking for a few minutes, suddenly, a flash of inspiration seemed to come up with something. Then he said to Whis, Whis, do you remember Vegeta and the other scion we saw when we first went to Earth? That scion seems to be Son Goten's father. What's his name? Although those guys in Vegeta are not as powerful as Son Goten, but it's still scion anyway, and his strength is not bad. They're also scion. If they're trained properly, their strength may be improved a lot. It's called Son Goku, Beerus Tianping. Whis opened his mouth and replied. But then he said, but they have been dead for many years if they are allowed to participate in this competition. I'm afraid it will be a bit bad. What's wrong with that? Master Zeno has no rule that dead people cannot participate. And don't your angels have the ability to be resurrected? Wouldn't it be good to just revive them? Beerus said indifferently, as gods of destruction of a universe, there is still the right to revive a few humans. And those scions are really good too. If they're cultivated for a period of time, their strength will definitely be greatly improved. When the time comes to participate in the competition organized by Master Zeno, the possibility of winning will be even greater. Angel was actually able to bring them back to life. But this seems to be a bit against the laws of nature. Is it really okay? Whis continued to ask. After all, resurrecting the dead is a violation of the rules. It's like traveling through time and space at will. It is a complete change of the natural order. Reviving the dead in this way means creating a parallel time and space out of thin air. Of course, I can do it if I say yes. Let's go find those guys now. Beerus immediately said to Whis. They don't have much time now, because Master Zeno will suddenly hold the all-universe contest that he mentioned. So after resurrecting Son Goku and Vegeta, we need to help them improve their strength as much as possible. Since Lord Beerus is so determined, then fine. Hearing that Beerus was so persistent, Whis didn't say much. Anyway, Angel can't make decisions on many things, and the final decision is still in the hands of gods of destruction. But there is a problem afterwards. Angel doesn't have to bear the responsibility. Everything will naturally be borne by gods of destruction. Then Whis looked at where Son Goku and the others were through his superpower. Then head to the planet King Kai with Beerus. Because of Son Goku, they have been training on the planet King Kai. And at this time, on the planet King Kai, Son Goku and the others are also training hard, especially since they last saw the power of Goten and the power of gods of destruction Beerus. Let them know that there are many strong people in this universe, and the strength is far beyond them. This also greatly stimulated their determination to work hard. Although only a few months have passed, the strength of Son Goku and Vegeta has also improved significantly. At this moment, Son Goku's strength has fully reached the limit of Super Saiyan 3. If he didn't know the form of Super Saiyan after 3rd, he would have already broken through. As for Vegeta, although it is still in the form of Super Saiyan 2, but his strength is not much weaker than Son Goku in Super Saiyan 3. After all, the strength of Saiyan depends on the basic combat power. The stronger the basic combat power, the stronger it will be after transformation. The strength of Son Goten and Piccolo has also been greatly improved. These guys, it seems that the last battle between Son Goten and Lord Beerus stimulated them a lot. That's why they trained so desperately. King Kai looked at Son Goku and Vegeta, who refused to stop for a moment, and sighed. Since the last time I came back from Earth, the training of Son Goku and Vegeta can be said to be a waste of sleep and food. Even Foodie's son, Goku, seems to be less interested in food now, knowing to continue training with Vegeta all day long. Sometimes he really doesn't understand. He has turned into a few dead people. What is he doing with such a powerful strength? Son Goku and Vegeta are outputting crazy to each other at this time. The entire planet of King Kai has long been destroyed and devastated, and Son Goten and Piccolo are also fighting with all their strength. Suddenly, King Kai felt a very familiar and powerful breath of God, and quickly approaching the supreme Kai world. What? This divine aura is Master Beerus? How did he come to my planet? After suffering from Beerus' breath, King Kai instantly turned pale with fright. I remember a long time ago, after Beerus came to his planet for the first time because the food he made was not very tasty. Just turn your own planet into such a little bit. Don't know what kind of disaster will happen this time. Whizzing. Just a minute later, accompanied by the sound of breaking through the air, 2 figures suddenly appeared. These 2 people are obviously Beerus and Whis. Bye, Master Beerus. You are here, and I am sorry for the loss. King Kai hurriedly ran up to Beerus and said respectfully. As for Son Goku and the others, they stopped training instantly after hearing the sound of breaking through the air. Then he quickly looked over here, then saw Beerus and Whis. Master Beerus? What is he doing here? Have no idea, but nothing good will happen. Vegeta shook his head and said in a low voice, where gods of destruction shows up, absolutely nothing good happens. King Kai, it's been a long time. I didn't expect your planet to be so small. Also, what's the matter with the halo above your head? Beerus asked lightly. It's hard to describe in words. King Kai replied awkwardly, then glared at Son Goku. If this BD hadn't brought Cell to his planet, he wouldn't have been blown up. Most importantly, after he was killed, the Cell was still not killed. So his death did not play any role at all. Master Beerus, I don't know what orders you have come to the humble house today. King Kai also hurriedly asked. I hope it's not because I let Goku and the others return to Earth privately last time, and then came to punish myself. The purpose of our visit this time is because of them. Beerus could only refer to Son Goku and Vegeta, and said lightly, What? Because of us. Son Goku and the others were stunned. Did Beerus come to fight with them? But it's obviously a bit funny, because even if they teamed up, they would not be Beerus' opponents. Hey, would you guys like to be resurrected and then go with Goten and the others to fight against other universe powerhouses? 096, the strongest artificial man. The birth of Ultimate Krillin. Subscribe. Looking at the surprised few people, Beerus also directly explained his purpose of coming. He is also pressed for time now, and he doesn't have so much time to go round and round with them. Resurrection? Fighting other universe players? Obviously, after hearing this kind of words, several people were quite confused and they didn't understand what it meant. The Beerus in front of me is gods of destruction. Isn't what gods of destruction wants to do is unscrupulous destruction? After they returned to the King Kai planet, King Kai introduced them in detail. At the beginning, I lamented that they had Son Goten on Earth, and they were lucky enough. Otherwise, that day would probably disappear in the entire universe. But now they're actually asked if they want to be resurrected. This really makes them not quite understand, and it feels incredible. As for fighting other powerful players in the universe, they will not be able to understand it even more, because the word universe is still a bit unfamiliar to them. Excuse me, Master Beerus. Are the powerhouses in other universes powerful? And who are they? Son Goku asked with some doubts. If you want to fight with others, at least it is better to know who they are. TCH, I'll tell you about these issues on the way. Now you just need to tell me if you are willing to be resurrected, and if you are willing to go with Sun Wutian and the others to face other powerhouses in the universe. Of course, even if you don't want to, you don't have a choice. Unless you want me to completely destroy your soul. What Beerus said earlier was quite serious, but then he grinned directly and threatened. As the gods of destruction of the 7th universe, it would be too embarrassing if he couldn't deal with such a few dead people. Of course, if they don't want to get back together, that can only completely destroy their souls. That's gods of destruction style of 863. After hearing Beerus' threat, several people frowned instantly. They are well aware that Beerus is fully capable of this, and it can be done in an instant. Several people looked at each other in blank dismay. Afterwards, Son Goku quickly replied, "We are very happy to be able to fight with other universe masters. And now there are so many masters on the earth, we really want to resurrect them." What Son Goku said was actually from the heart. After all, they didn't want to be resurrected at the time because they couldn't beat Cell even if they were resurrected. In the end, it will only make the Earth fall into crisis again. And now, all the crises have almost been resolved. The reason why they didn't tell Goten about the resurrection time is actually more of embarrassment. After all, a few years ago, they voluntarily gave up the chance of resurrection. Now that the Earth has restored peace, it is somewhat too realistic for them to ask to be resurrected. If that's the case, is it okay? There are exactly 5 people on your side. If you add the 5 or 10 people on Earth, it should be almost the same. Beerus looked at the few people in front of him. Besides Son Goku and Vegeta, there is Son Goku's son and the Namek people. There is also this son of Vegeta, although his strength seems to be average. But at least it should be much stronger than ordinary people, and it can barely be regarded as one. But it seems that the strength is not bad. At least much stronger than ordinary humans. Then this time, let him be resurrected together. Really? Can you really be resurrected again? It's really unbelievable. Obviously, everyone was quite excited about the resurrection. After all, I have been in this big fart place of King Kai for more than 8 years. It's been quite boring. It is naturally happier to be able to return to Earth. Whis, bring them back to life. After hearing Son Goku and the others agree, Beerus also said to Whis, "Yes, Lord Beerus." Whis nodded, and then lightly waved the staff in his hand. In an instant, the golden halo above Son Goku and the others had disappeared. Really revived. Great, we're really resurrected. After seeing the halo above their heads disappear, everyone was extremely excited. Didn't expect it to come back to life. And this time, they didn't shoot Earth's Bulma. Hey, don't be too happy now. My purpose of resurrecting you is mainly to allow you to fight against other powerful players in the universe. If any of you lose in the battle, I will send you back without hesitation. No, I was wrong just now. I will make you completely disappear without hesitation, destroying your souls together. Seeing the extremely excited crowd, Beerus immediately said in a serious and cold voice. This time, Master Zeno organized the competition himself. If you do not perform well in the game, you may be severely punished by Master Zeno. If that happens at that time, he will definitely punish these guys well. Relax, Lord Beerus. Although our current strength is not as strong as Goten's, we are also much stronger now than a few months ago. I definitely won't lose to those powerhouses in other universes. Son Goku said very confidently. Their training in the past few months has been very desperate. Strength has also been greatly improved. Although there is still a big gap with Goten. How many of them in the universe can be as powerful as Goten? Cut. I hope your confidence is not groundless. Alright, next, Whis and I will take you to the Ring of Gods of Destruction and then conduct special training for you collectively. Although Son Goku and their current strength are not bad, but if he wants to compete with the real masters in other universes, he probably still has a long way to go. So before Master Zeno announces the date of the competition, it is necessary to thoroughly improve the strength of Son Goku and Vegeta. As they are now, they can't even beat Hit from the 6th universe. It is estimated that Hit alone can kill them all. This is not the result he wants to see. Special training? Is Master Beerus guiding our training? That would be great. Hearing that he could be specially trained by Master Beerus, Son Goku was also excited. In the past few months, he has clearly reached the limit of Super Saiyan 3. But it is always impossible to make a breakthrough. If he could get the special training from Lord Gods of Destruction, then he might be able to break through his limit and achieve a higher form of transformation. If everyone is ready, then let's go. Whis said. Everyone hurriedly bid farewell to King Kai. After all, being on King Kai's planet has bothered him for more than 8 years. As for King Kai, can't wait to get them out. These guys stay here, and they repair the planet every day, repair their own houses. Day after day, year after year, it was really hard work. And there is no time to rest. If they were gone now, it would be much quieter. On their way back to the Gods of Destruction world, Angel Whis also introduced them about other universes in detail. In this dimension, there are a total of 12 universes, and they are in the 7th universe. Each universe has information about the Angel Gods of Destruction, Supreme Kai, and more for that universe. Vegeta and Piccolo were shocked when they heard it. I had no idea the world was so vast. But there are 12 such universes, and the strength is as powerful as Beerus, since there are also 12 of them. What shocked them even more was that the Whis in front of them was actually the master of Gods of Destruction. They always thought Whis was a servant of Gods of Destruction Beerus. In other words, the Whis in front of you even has a stronger force zone than Gods of Destruction Beerus. After half an hour, everyone has arrived at the Gods of Destruction realm. Wow, Kaka, so you're the planet where Master Beerus lives? It's really beautiful. Looking at the purple surroundings, Son Goku couldn't help but praise. Maybe it's because of living on King Kai's planet for too long. So at this moment, when I see the bare planet of Beerus, I feel pretty. After all, Beerus' planet is at least a lot bigger than King Kai's. On the other hand, Piccolo and Vegeta gave Son Goku a big white eye. This guy thinks it's beautiful to compliment such a planet. Is this serious? Beerus couldn't help but roll his eyes too. Because compared with the Earth, my own planet has a slightly different style. Okay, Whis, now take them to start training immediately. Until they can break through their limits, or the moment Master Zeno announces the start of the entire universe competition. Beerus obviously didn't want to waste any time and said to Angel Whis, because Son Goku and their current strength is still very weak. So we must race against time to train them. But training this kind of world will naturally not be done by Gods of Destruction. All along, Whis did it. Is it me again? Fine. Whis looked unhappy. But there was no other way. He was already used to such days. Master Beerus likes to be a hands-off shopkeeper, and this is not something that happens every day or two. By the way, Master Beerus, do you need to take them to that place for training? Although training there will be a lot of hard work, but the improvement of strength will be faster. Whis continued to ask. After all, they really don't have much time now. Ordinary training, or the basic training of Goten and Kling. It's just too time-consuming. And if you go to the special training place of Gods of Destruction, I'm afraid that Son Goku's body will not be able to bear it. Who is right, Whis? Then take them to that place for training. If anyone can't persist in that kind of training, they have to be thrown out of it, and then I will send him to King Kai. After hearing Whis' suggestion, Beerus immediately nodded firmly. Although the training in that place was very hard, and the environment was very bad. But Son Goku and Vegeta should be able to stick with it. The eldest son of the Namek man and Son Goku looks good. There is nothing wrong with like. I just don't know if the kid in Vegeta's family can bear it. Understood, Lord Beerus. Whis nodded, and then swung the staff in his hand suddenly. The space in front of him was cut open like a water curtain. Immediately afterwards, the bodies of several people were instantly sucked in by a terrifying force. In this way, time goes by day. 3 days passed in a blink of an eye. During these 3 days, Son Goten and Trunks stayed in the spiritual time room. Inside, it was a full 3 years, including the year when they comprehended the perfect Ultra Instinct. They have been in it for 4 years. At this moment, Son Goten was already feeling very irritable. The spiritual time room is truly a sanctuary for training. But if you train here for a long time, it will greatly affect people's mind. There will be a certain rejection of training. So, staying in the spiritual time house all the time is not necessarily a good thing. Because once the time is too long and loneliness affects people's mind, they will reject training. At that time, the strength will not increase at all. This, in fact, Son Goku realized before the Cell game. So at that time, he just stayed in it for a day and then left. Trunks, let's leave the spiritual time room later. I can feel that in the past 6 months, your strength doesn't seem to have improved much. So it doesn't make much sense to stay in the spiritual time room. Son Goten turned and said to Trunks, who was training. As for him himself, although his sense of loneliness also made him reject training to a certain extent, but his strength is still improving. This is the passive attribute of Chuanchao bloodline. Even without active training, the strength can be continuously improved day after day. Good. After hearing that he could leave this place, Trunks immediately nodded happily. I've been in this boring place for 4 full years, although it is said that he can endure all the pain in order to improve his strength. But sometimes physical and psychological resistance at the same time is a bit unacceptable. Then Son Goten directly broke the dimensional wall of the spiritual time room. The two swaggered out from inside. Then I briefly greeted Dand and Mr. Popo, expressing my apologies for destroying the spiritual time room. Then he left the temple directly, back to the capsule company. At this time, the door of the institute was tightly closed. But Bulma is drinking coffee leisurely in the courtyard, whizzing. Then Son Goten and Trunks popped up. For the sudden appearance of 2 people, Bulma has long been used to it. You 2 are back, Goten. You look more mature than you did a few days ago. Did the 2 of you go to the spiritual time room again? Bulma looked at Son Goten in front of him and asked. Maybe it's because Trunks is older, so for years doesn't seem to have changed much for him. But for Son Goten, the changes have been quite big. The whole person is half a head taller, almost the same size as Trunks. His eyes became firmer and sharper, and his facial features became more angular. Especially the long bangs in front of the eyebrows are completely different from Son Goku. Huh? Yes, Aunt Bulma. Son Goten nodded with a smile. Let her feel that she hasn't changed much. After all, you can see yourself every day. But for others, the change is huge. By the way, Mom, why didn't you see Uncle Kling? Trunks looked around, then asked. You must know that before they appeared, Uncle Kellen was the first person to spot them. But it didn't come out today. This morning, number 21 and I have manufactured the machine Kling, and now no. 21 is conducting a fusion test. It's not too troublesome to fit together, so I don't need my help. I will come out. Bulma opened his mouth to explain. And almost at the moment when Bulma's voice fell, rumble, accompanied by a huge roar, the entire western capital trembled violently. A golden light shot up from the capsule company in an instant. There was such a big movement, but no breath was released. It seems that Kling has succeeded. Son Goten whispered with a faint smile on his lips. Creak. And at this moment, the door of the laboratory was finally opened. 2 figures walked out slowly from inside. Ultimate Android Krillin? It's interesting. 097 Fierce Battle. Super 4 Trunks versus Ultimate Kling. Subscription required. Seeing Kellen walking slowly in front of him, Son Goten raised a smile at the corner of his mouth. Although he can't feel Kellen's aura, but now he is definitely very powerful. It is estimated that even the current Trunks may not be able to easily defeat Kling. It seems that in the world of Dragon Ball, apart from the vital importance of blood, technology is also very important. If he and Trunks are products of blood, then the current Ultimate Krillin is a product of technology. Is this really Uncle Kling? It's unbelievable how much has changed. Trunks looked at Kellen walking in front of him, and his face was full of disbelief. My God, Kellen seems to be a little handsome now. Bulma was also quite surprised. After all, it was the first time she had seen Klin become like this. At this time, Kellen's height has become a lot taller, half a head taller than Son Goten and Trunks. And the facial features have become a lot more three-dimensional, although he is still bald. The figure is slender, and it can be seen that it is quite strong. If the previous Kling is compared with the current Kling, the best description is Saitama in normal state and Saitama in serious state. Seeing the surprised expressions of the three of them, Kellen also scratched his head in embarrassment. Boss, Krillin has completed the fusion and now becomes the ultimate artificial human. How? Would you like to reward me with something? Android 21 twisted his waist and walked in front of Son Goten. Then he asked with a smile. Her movements, expressions, and tone of voice were full of charm and seduction. At this moment, they also found a change in Son Goten. It is much taller than a few days ago, and it looks stronger, and the edges and corners of the facial features are more distinct. Now Son Goten looks no different from an adult. Do you want to reward you with a few 100 million cuties? Looking at the charming artificial man number 21, Son Goten said lightly. I have to say that the man-made human in front of me is really a little goblin. The captivating kind. Of course I wish for it. Android 21 also said without blushing. Anyway, she is just an artificial human, so 16 will not blush for such things. Such an answer without hesitation made Son Goten a bit at a loss for what to say. Uncle Kling, how are you feeling now? How much stronger the power is now? Trunks is even more curious about Klin's current strength. With such a big change in appearance, there must be a qualitative breakthrough in strength. It's very strong. It can be said that the power after the fusion is something I couldn't even imagine before. Kellen clenched his fist and said firmly. The power after the fusion really completely surpassed his imagination. I never even dared to think that I could have such a powerful power. Although he knows that this kind of power is not comparable to Goten at all. But if he meets Hit of the 6th universe, he is very sure to fight with him. That guy wouldn't necessarily be able to beat himself either. What's more, he is now able to absorb force zones in battles with other people in addition to infinite energy. In other words, his current growth rate is also very fast. This is completely different from previous artificial humans. Okay, everyone stop standing there. Goten and Trunks must not eat well in the spiritual time room. I will ask someone to prepare some food for us to celebrate. Bulma immediately said to everyone. The food in the spiritual time room must be particularly bad. This was stated by Goku and Vegeta a few years ago. Now that both Kling and Trunks have improved so much, they should really celebrate it. The stronger their strength becomes, the safer the Earth will be. Okay, it sounds like I really miss the food from the Earth. Son Goten nodded quickly. Although you can eat enough when you are in the spiritual time room, but the food made by him and Trunks can only fill the stomach. As for the taste and texture, it is simply beyond words. After more than 2 hours, the meal is over. Son Goten and others are also planning to go to Baozi Mountain. Android 21 stayed at the capsule company because she and Bulma were both technological geniuses. So we have a lot of things in common. And after returning to Baozi Mountain, Chi-Chi and Videl looked at Son Goten, who had undergone a huge change in front of them. And they were full of disbelief. Are you really my Goten? My God, it's only been a few days. How did you grow so tall? And how did your tail grow back? Chi-Chi looked at Son Goten in disbelief and replied, they have been separated for less than 10 days in total. Unexpectedly, Goten is actually a head taller than before. What's more, the tail that was pulled out by himself when he was just born has grown back. Goten's current height is not much lower than Goku's. If it weren't for the bangs on his forehead, Liu Tian and Goku would have been carved out of the same mold. It is estimated that many people will have a hard time distinguishing them. Mom, of course I'm Goten. It's just that Trunks and I stayed in the spiritual time room for 4 years, so I grew a little taller. As for the tail, I wished it to grow with Namek Shinron. Son Goten scratched his head, a little embarrassed by Chi-Chi and Videl's gaze. At this time, Videl's eyes were shining. He stared intently at Son Goten in front of him. The current Goten is really handsome. More importantly, Goten has matured a lot. The whole person has completely faded away from the immature breath, grow into an adult. With handsome appearance and powerful strength, he is definitely the Prince Charming in the dreams of countless girls. I can't believe it. Chi-Chi was still in disbelief. Goten is growing too fast. Then he looked at Kellen behind him, if he showed a surprised look. Klin, the little dwarf in the past, has become so handsome now. Okay, now we do have some changes, but there's no need to be so surprised. Son Goten continued with a smile. Good, so handsome. Looking at the smiling Son Goten, Videl murmured subconsciously. After a few people chatted briefly, Son Goten decided to test Kling's current strength. Because I can't feel his breath at all. I don't know how strong he has become after the fusion. I don't know how far it has reached now. Then the three of them came to an empty valley in the back of Baozi Mountain. Trunks, I felt a qualitative improvement in your strength a few days ago. Let's compete a little bit. I'm curious about how strong you are now, and I'm also curious about how strong I am. Kling spoke directly to Trunks, because he knew that he couldn't be Goten's opponent at all, so he didn't have that plan. Trunks should be a good opponent, just to verify my current strength. Okay, Uncle Kling, that's exactly what I mean. Trunks nodded without hesitation. He hasn't had a serious fight since becoming Super Saiyan 4. The previous fight with Goten, it wasn't even a fight, because the power gap between them is too big. Right now, I can have a hearty battle with Klin. I just hope he's not too weak. Son Goten stepped aside, looking at the two with interest. To be honest, he is also very curious about how strong Klin is now. Can it be the opponent of Super Saiyan 4 Trunks? If the strength of the two of them is about the same, it means that the power of the combination is still very huge. You must know that in Dragon Ball GT, the strength of Super Number 17 after Life Body is not weaker than Super Saiyan 4 Son Goku. And after absorbing Son Goku's Kamehameha Wave, the strength surpassed Super Force Son Goku Sora. Trunks, show all your strength. Let the horse come here. Don't hold back. After the two of them took a dozen steps back, Kellen said seriously. After getting serious, Kellen does look a bit like Saitama. Well, I won't hold back. Trunks also nodded seriously. Preserving strength is not his fighting habit. What's more, if you still preserve your strength in such a contest, it is obviously disrespectful to Uncle Kellen. Ha! The next second, Trunks suddenly clenched his fists, and a deep roar came out of his throat. Golden flames also erupted from his body in an instant. Swish! In the next second, it directly changed into the form of Super Saiyan 4. The whole body is covered with red hair, and the pupils have also turned blue. The tail behind is swinging flexibly. The breath also reached an unprecedented height in an instant. Okay, so powerful. Is this the power of Trunks after breaking through the realm? It's unbelievable. It's completely different from before. It's a world of difference. And the shape has changed dramatically. After watching Trunks transform into Super Saiyan 4, Kellen instantly showed an extremely surprised expression. Because of Scion's previous transformations, her hair will turn golden, and golden flames will emerge from her body. Other than that, the body doesn't change much. Even for Goten, only the color of his hair and the color of his aura have changed. It doesn't have red hair all over its body like Trunks. Sure enough, it was a brand new transformation, and the breath was also completely changed in quality. While being surprised, Kellen also felt the blood in his body tumbling. Trunks at this time is definitely a pretty good opponent. Uncle Kling, that's all my facts. Please advise. After becoming Super Saiyan 4, Trunks said seriously, well, you are indeed very powerful, Trunks, but I won't show mercy either. Kellen nodded seriously, and then a serious expression appeared on his face. If you don't go all out, you may soon be defeated by the Trunks. Whizzing! The next at this moment, the bodies of the two of them flashed out in an extremely tacit understanding. No fancy punches followed. Seeing this, Son Goten tapped the ground lightly with his toes. A huge energy halo instantly enveloped the two of them. The two of them now have the ability to destroy the planet at will, and the shock wave generated by the collision of this punch is enough to destroy the Earth. This is something he does not allow. Boom! Rumble. The moment the two fists collided, the ground exploded instantly, cracked, and gravel and dust spread in all directions. The ground under their feet also collapsed more than 10 feet. It's just that the collision of this punch obviously didn't tell the winner. Both are on par. So much fun, go ahead. Trunks. Kellen smiled. This feeling is really too hearty. Trunks also laughed. Then the two continued to fight together. Whoosh whoosh. The bodies of the two people directly turned into two rays of light, constantly colliding. Boom, boom, boom. In the energy barrier, there was also a huge roar that continued to sound. At this time, the speed of Kling and Trunks was already strong, and they were clearly on equal footing. Is this the ultimate Krillin after the individual? The strength is stronger than I imagined. It seems that even if you participate in the Tournament of Power, there are not many who can defeat him. Looking at Kellen, who is not weaker than Trunks in front of him, Son Goten also said in surprise. You know, Trunks and him have been training for 4 years in the spiritual time room. The basic combat power is far from what it used to be, but Kling was able to keep up with the speed of Trunks. That's really shocking enough. It is estimated that even if it is Topo of the 11th universe, it is not easy to defeat Kling, unless he relinquishes his righteousness and takes the form of the gods of destruction. Bang, bang, bang. The two were still touching each other softly. The energy barrier shakes crazily. This battle lasted for nearly 10 minutes. Kling's physical fitness has not declined in any way, because he is an artificial human with infinite energy. As for Trunks, the decline in physical fitness is not obvious, because the form of Super Saiyan 4 is the most stable among all Saiyan forms. In battle, the consumption of physical energy is not much different from normal. Boom! At this moment, Trunks punched Kling heavily in the stomach. The moment Kling bent over, Trunks immediately clenched his fists again, and then slammed into Kling's back heavily. He knew that such an attack would not cause Kling any harm. Rumble. Kellen's body was smashed directly into the ground. But Trunks has absolutely no intention of stopping. Magic Flash then directly released his most powerful Ki Blast. Kellen also stood up like a carp and immediately stood up. Although a bright red bloodstain appeared at the corner of his mouth, the energy did not weaken at all. The hands were instantly combined to form a classic movement. Kamehameha Wave Hot. Kling also used his strongest Ki Blast. Boom! The moment the two energies collided, energy shock waves visible to the naked eye instantly spread in all directions. The energy barrier that Son Goten condensed was buzzed by this powerful shock wave. Boom! The two streams of energy were compressed crazily and then exploded directly. Click! The energy barrier made a crisp sound, and then the spider web-like cracks began to spread rapidly. Bang, bang! The bodies of Kling and Trunks were also directly blown away by the terrifying shockwave. There were bloodstains on both of their faces. Okay, let's call it a day. It seems that the strength of the two of you is about equal, and it is not easy to decide the winner. Looking at Trunks and Kling, who landed at the same time, Son Goten said with a faint smile, "It seems that this time, the 7th universe is stable. Uncle Kellen, your strength really exceeded my expectations." Trunks dragged his tired body and said, "You're strong too, Trunks. Also, you kid didn't take out the calendar at all, just now." Kellen also said with a smile. He could feel that Trunks should have more power. And at this time in the Temple of Zeno, Zeno has been playing Match 3 Planet alone for hours. Apparently a little bored too. Then he directly overturned the chessboard in front of him, and a dozen planets were instantly annihilated when they touched the ground. Wow, so boring. I really want to clear something. Grand Priest. Then he said to the Grand Priest beside him with a bored face. 098 Shocking Beerus. Collectively reaching the realm of God. Subscription required. It's so boring to play this boring game alone, and for a while I can't think of other fun things. At times like this, he always wanted to erase something to vent. Ho ho ho. Master Zeno, didn't you say that 12 universes are too many to manage? And I feel that there is no need for those lower-ranked universes to exist. If you really want to destroy universes, then destroy those universes that rank lower. Grand Priest smiled and said to Master Zeno with a pleasant face. Anyway, Master Zeno is the ruler of this world and the supreme god above this world, possesses the rule power to erase everything. So what can he wipe out if he wants to? No one can stop it. Master Zeno said last time that 12 universes is still a bit too much. It's a bit difficult to manage, and the comprehensive level of human beings in some universes is declining rapidly. And these negligence are naturally the outcome caused by the gods of each universe. Then they should naturally pay the corresponding price for their negligence and laziness. You're right at all. I did have this plan last time, but it took too long to forget. And thanks to Grand Priest for your reminder. Then Grand Priest will help you check now. Which are the lowest ranked universes? Zeno nodded, then looked at the Grand Priest and asked, Universe is indeed a bit too much, and it is a bit troublesome to manage. If only 3 or 4 universes with relatively high human civilization are left, it may be more convenient to manage. Okay, Master Zeno. Grand Priest nodded. Then he took out his angel staff and looked at it and immediately answered, Master Zeno, the 9th universe is currently ranked first from the bottom, the 7th universe is ranked second to last, and the 10th universe is ranked third last. Universe, the 4th from the bottom, is the 6th universe. Grand Priest began to introduce the rankings of each universe one by one. The comprehensive level of the 1st universe, the 5th universe, the 8th universe, and the 12th universe is relatively high. The 11th universe and the 4 universes have similar human comprehensive levels. Is the 7th universe second to last? Zeno murmured, as if suddenly remembering something. By the way, the last time I went to play between the 6th universe and the 7th universe, I saw the competition between the 6th universe and the 7th universe. Although this violated the rules I set before, but that kind of competition is really interesting, and at the time I seemed to say that there was going to be an all-universe competition. Speaking of which, that kind of game seems really interesting. I still want to watch it, but I really want to race some planets. It's so tangled. Zeno stroked his chin and said with a troubled expression, the last match between the 6th universe and the 7th universe was really fun. And if there are more universes to compete together, it will definitely be more interesting. But at the same time, he really wanted to destroy several universes. This is a bit too difficult. That's it. Grand Priest turned his eyes, thought for a while, and said, Master Zeno, if you are really interested in that kind of competition, you can let all the universes compete first, then rank the 12 universes again through this competition. If the ranking is low, or the universe that lost the game, it can be erased directly on the spot. Just keep the universe that won in the end. In fact, for Grand Priest, it doesn't matter how many universes there are in this world. Even if all the universes were destroyed, it would have no effect on him. Hey, what a great idea! You can watch the game between all universes, and after watching the game, you can erase some universes. Grand Priest, you are so smart. Zeno said happily. Finally, you don't have to be so boring. Master Zeno, thank you. Then when are you going to hold a competition between all universes? Grand Priest smiled at first, and then continued to ask, or as soon as possible. I can't wait. Zeno spoke immediately. I've been tired of playing marbles lately, and he also lost interest in the peekaboo competition. Now that he actually talked about the match between the whole universe, he couldn't wait. Okay, Master Zeno, if a competition among all universes is held right now, I don't think many universes are ready. How about we hold an overview competition first, so that other universe gods can better understand the rules of this competition and the price of losing. This way they can also take this game seriously. Of course, I can also formulate more fair and just rules through this general competition. After the great god nodded to me, he then suggested, of course, these are just his suggestions, and whether they will be adopted in the end depends on Master Zeno. It seems to be very reasonable. Since this is the case, then this matter will be handed over to the Heavenly Priest. I hope to see the game as soon as possible. By the way, there is a human named Son Goten in the 7th universe. I think he is very unusual. If there is a panorama competition, he can participate. After remembering the previous events, Zeno also remembered the Son Goten he saw last time. He seems to be different from other humans. There is always a sense of mystery. and the power he possesses seems to be no weaker than gods of destruction. So he was interested in Son Goten. Son Goten from the 7th universe? Okay, Zeno-sama, I'll take care of it. Grand Priest nodded, and then left the temple to prepare. And this time on Earth, after Trunks and Kellen had a brief discussion, Son Goten was also planning to go to the Gods of Destruction world. Now Trunks has made his breakthrough, and Krillin has also become the ultimate artificial human. The two of them trained in the spiritual time room for another 4 years. If you go in again, it will definitely be quite boring, and the improvement in strength will not be too great. Then at this time, you can go back to the Gods of Destruction world and then train with Whis. After all, following Angel, the speed of training is indeed much faster. After saying goodbye to Kling and Trunks, and then saying goodbye to everyone, Son Goten went straight to instant transmission, taking Trunks and Kling to the Gods of Destruction world. Of course, this time he also brought a lot of delicacies. Whizzing, almost in the blink of an eye, the three of them had reached the Gods of Destruction realm. At this time, Beerus the Destroyer was sitting on a deck chair in front of the temple, sunbathing leisurely. After feeling Son Goten's aura, Beerus also opened his eyes suddenly. Yo! Beerus didn't sleep this time. It's really rare. Son Goten greeted with a smile. Cut! How can I sleep at a time like this? Beerus curled his lips and replied. In the past few days, his right eyelid twitched violently, as if something bad would happen. This feeling made him unable to sleep at all. But it's too boring, so I can only sunbathe here. Then, after glancing at Son Goten, he said in surprise, Hey, what's going on, boy? I remembered you weren't that tall a few days ago, right? How come you have grown so much in such a short time? And what happened to your tail behind you? Is that a decoration? Beerus was rather surprised. Calculated by the time of the Earth, they have been separated for less than 10 days. In such a short time, Son Goten feels like a different person. Some things happened in order to improve the strength. It's a long story. Son Goten replied perfunctorily. After Beerus looked at Kling, he was surprised again. Is he the little bald head of Kellen? Is this a secondary development? He remembered how short this little bald guy was. But why is it so tall now, half a head taller than Son Goten and Trunks? This is completely different from the little bald head I knew at the time. It counts, Master Beerus. He could only nodded awkwardly and said, In fact, it can be regarded as a second development, or it could be called a freshman. Although I don't know what you guys have experienced in a short period of time, I can feel that your strength seems to have become stronger again. It seems that you are all working hard. After a moment of surprise, Beerus laughed. There are so many hardworking guys in the 7th universe. It seems that they can win the competition held by Mr. Zeno. Especially Son Goten. There is a very sharp force in his body. It's only been 10 days, but his strength has obviously improved qualitatively. If the two of them fight now, to be honest, he is not sure that he can completely defeat Son Goten. I have to say, this guy is really a monster. By the way, I will give you a surprise later. Beerus said, pretending to be mysterious again. If time counts, Whis and the others' training should be over soon. Training in that place, the flow of time will become very slow, and the spirit will be greatly tormented. And the environment inside, even Gods of Destruction, felt a little unacceptable. I didn't expect Son Goku and Vegeta to go in for so many days, but no one came out. It seems that I underestimated their perseverance before. Even if their talents are not as strong as Son Goten's, they have trained in that place for such a long time. The strength has definitely undergone a qualitative improvement. More importantly, there is such a good teacher as Whis. Surprise? What is it? Kling and Trunks asked with puzzled faces. By the way, Lord Beerus, why didn't you see Whis? Son Goten discovered that after coming to God Realm, Whis was not found. It stands to reason that Gods of Destruction and Angel are inseparable. And in the entire God Realm, he couldn't perceive the existence of Whis at all. That means Whis is not in the Gods of Destruction world. Oh, you will know later. Beerus continued to smile mysteriously. He is looking forward to what kind of reaction Son Goten will have when he sees Son Goku, whose strength has been greatly improved. Also looking forward to the Son Goku and Vegeta, who have stayed in that place for so long, have grown in strength. What kind of medicine is sold in this gourd? I won't wait to make a manaka. Looking at the mysterious smile on the corner of Beerus' mouth, Son Goten guessed in his heart. It shouldn't be. After waiting for 10 minutes, nothing appeared. Son Goten could only take out the dry food he brought, and then several people waited while eating. In this way, time passed by every minute and every second. More than 2 hours passed in the blink of an eye. Beerus also seemed a little impatient with the wait. I said, "Master Beerus, what exactly is the surprise you just mentioned? We've been waiting for such a long time. I think you're getting impatient. Why don't you just tell us? We can pretend to match your surprise," Son Goten said helplessly. After waiting for such a long time, his curiosity has long been consumed. Of course, Trunks and Kling on the side didn't dare to joke with gods of destruction like that. Although their strength has become stronger, there is still a world of difference between gods of destruction. Forehead. Beerus suddenly looked embarrassed, and a few drops of sweat appeared on his forehead. Thought those Whis guys would be out soon, but I didn't expect to wait for so long and still not come out. Just when Beerus was about to continue speaking, suddenly, a curtain-like purple crack appeared in the midair of gods of destruction. Angel Whis' body jumped out of it. Immediately afterwards, Son Goku, Vegeta, Biotion, Piccolo, and Little Trunks came out together. Goku, Gohan, Piccolo, Dad, it's them? Why are they in the gods of destruction world? Krillin and Trunks were shocked when they saw Son Goku and the others. Then a look of surprise and joy appeared on his face. Didn't expect that the surprise Mr. Beerus said just now was actually Goku and the others. It was a surprise indeed, and a very big one at that. Especially when he saw that the halo was not on everyone's head. Kellen was even happier. That means both Goku and Gohan are resurrected. Son Goten was naturally surprised. Unexpectedly, Beerus actually revived Son Goku and the others, and also brought them to God Realm. Let Whis be responsible for training them. It was indeed something he hadn't thought of, and I didn't feel any breath from Son Goku before. How about it? This surprise is okay. Did Zhao? Beerus asked smugly. That's really great, Lord Beerus. Clint replied excitedly. Obviously, his relationship with Son Goku is indeed the best. After all, he has been a best friend since childhood and has experienced so many life and death. Their relationship is irreplaceable by ordinary people. Although the relationship with Goten is also very good, and Goten also respects him a lot. But he can always feel the distance between him and Goten. Maybe it's because of the generation gap. Yo, everyone is here. It's been a long time, Goten and Kellen. Huh? Is the Trunks there too? That's surprising. Son Goku also immediately waved to Son Goten and the others. Trunks, I don't know how strong this kid is now. Did you embarrass me? Vegeta looked at Date in front of him, and the corner of his mouth showed a slight upward arc. After training hard at that place, they broke through their limits and reached a new level. Whoosh whoosh. At this moment, everyone flashed their bodies and appeared in front of Son Goten and Beerus. Whis, how are the training results of these guys? Beerus also asked impatiently. After all, they're going to take them to participate in the competition held by Master Zeno. If the strength is too weak, it will be a bit too embarrassing for him. Their training talents are all very strong. Goku, Vegeta, and Gohan have all broken through their limits and reached the realm of gods. Piccolo and Trunks are also very good. The strength has improved a lot. Whis replied with a smile. In fact, the previous Son Goku and Vegeta have already reached their respective limits. It's just that there is no correct guidance, so there is no breakthrough. What? All three of them have reached the realm of God. Beerus was taken aback, although they know that their strength will definitely become stronger under Whis training. But I didn't expect to be able to reach the realm of God. 099 Battle of Father and Son. Super 4 Trunks versus Super Race God Vegeta. Subscription required. These scions are a bit exaggerated, right? But it's a good thing that they can improve so quickly, so I don't have to bother sending them back to that place. Although he was extremely surprised, Beerus still pretended to be calm and said, Son Goku and the others who have reached the realm of God at this time are obviously very confident. There is a happy smile on his face. Being able to reach the realm of gods means that they are one step closer to the gap between Goten and Lord Beerus. Goten, you've grown a lot and are stronger than you were a few months ago. Son Goku patted Son Goten's shoulder, also showing the kindness of the old father. Such an expression rarely appeared on Son Goku's face. Perhaps he feels that he owes Goten a lot these years. After all, his father did not train with Goten, nor did he bring any substantial help to Goten. Hey, Trunks, what's up with you and Son Goten's tail? When we met 10 years ago, I remembered that you should have no tail. Vegeta also immediately spotted the tail behind Trunks and Son Goten. Then he asked with a look of surprise, "Why are these two guys growing their tails back?" But the tails of other people did not grow out. During this time, they were training hard every day on King Kai's planet. So there is simply no time to pay attention to what is happening on Earth. Therefore, why did the tails of Son Goten and Trunks grow out? Dad, we used Namek Shinron to regrow the tail. This is to enhance our respective strengths. Trunks also replied without any concealment. After all, Vegeta is his father. There is no need to hide this kind of thing, nor should it be hidden. What? Can regrowing the tail also improve the strength? It's the first time I've heard of such a thing, Vegeta said with some disbelief. Could it be that these two guys have increased their fighting power tenfold in order to transform into a giant ape? But this is obviously a very stupid approach. If you change into a giant ape form, you can't become a Super Saiyan. This is simply picking up sesame seeds and losing watermelon, a very stupid approach. Yeah, Clint, are you really Kling? How did you become so tall? Your strength should also become stronger? Only then did Son Goku discover Kling's change. When standing together, it is obvious that they are already the same as him. And Kellen looks much better than before. The only thing that hasn't changed is that he still has no nose. Of course, I'm Krillin Goku. However, my strength is indeed improved a bit. Kellen nodded with a smile and said, "He's definitely changed from before, so it's no surprise that Goku is so surprised." Wow, Kaka! I didn't expect everyone to become so strong. I am really looking forward to the battle with other universe powerhouses. Son Goku said excitedly. There is no doubt about Goten's strength. He is definitely the most powerful existence among all of them. Now he can feel that Trunks has also undergone a qualitative change. It is completely different from a few years ago. As for Klin, although he couldn't sense his aura, it had obviously become much stronger. Hey Trunks, you should be much stronger now, right? Come and show me the results of your years of training. Vegeta raised the corner of his mouth, then looked at Trunks and spoke. 10 years ago, he was actually on par with Trunks in power. Even if it is stronger than Trunks, it is not much stronger. But he now has absolute confidence that he can easily beat Trunks. The reason is very simple, because during this period of time, he followed Whis to train in that extremely cruel environment, and he has already broken through his own limit and reached the realm of Super Saiyan God. Of course, the title of the Saiyan God is their own. After all, it has reached the realm of God, so there is nothing wrong with such a title. Or forget it, Dad, I don't think we need to compete. Trunks had a troubled expression on his face, and then he refused. In fact, the reason why he refused was not because he was afraid of Vegeta or because he felt that his strength was too strong to fight. The main reason is that his current strength is too strong. If he defeats his father, his poor self-esteem may not be able to bear it. What? Are you looking down on me, brat? Don't get carried away here. My current strength is a bit unbelievable even to myself. The corners of Vegeta's mouth immediately twitched with a confident look on his face. If it is not before resurrection, he really will not challenge anyone, because at that time his strength was indeed not very strong. But now, his strength has undergone a qualitative change. To be honest, he kind of wants to challenge Son Goten, but in the end he suppressed the urge, because Son Goten is an existence comparable to Beerus. Then he has reached the realm of God now, but he is obviously not Son Goten's opponent. But it is more than enough to defeat the Kid Trunks. No, Dad, I just don't want to fight with you. Trunks immediately opened his mouth to explain. In fact, he has no interest in this kind of meaningless battle. Strength is used to protect the people you want to protect, not for publicity and showing off. Cut! Brat, how dare you refuse me? Vegeta's face suddenly changed. Unexpectedly, this son actually rejected himself? Ma. Trunks, you should agree to Vegeta's request. It also happens to let us see to what extent your strength has improved. Seeing Vegeta's color change, Son Goku immediately smiled and said to Trunks, "This guy Vegeta is too persistent. Now that his strength has been greatly improved, he must want to show off to everyone. Hey Trunks, hurry up and answer Vegeta's request. To be honest, I'm very curious about the strength of both of you. Since you are not father and son, let me see who is stronger between you two." Beerus also said to Trunks with a curious face, "But that guy Vegeta is older and has been trained by Whis, reaching the realm of God. The strength is definitely stronger than Trunks, but he was very curious. What is the strength of Vegeta who has reached the realm of God? This Trunks is obviously very difficult. Go, Trunks. Since he wants to feel your power, then don't keep it. Let him see it. If you can beat him, maybe he will feel relieved." Looking at Trunks with a troubled face, Son Goten also spoke from the side. Even if Vegeta has reached the realm of gods and mastered the transformation of Super Saiyan God, but he's still certainly no match for Trunks. You must know that after Trunks became Super Saiyan 4, he trained with himself in the spiritual time room for another 4 years. There has been a qualitative leap in basic combat effectiveness. It is very difficult for Vegeta to defeat him. All right, I see. After hearing Son Goten's words, Trunks nodded. It looks like there's a good show to watch. I wonder who is stronger between father and son? The corners of Beerus' mouth raised slightly, revealing a look of anticipation. In the end, everyone hurriedly retreated a distance of several tens of feet. "Brat, use all your strength. Otherwise, I might defeat you in an instant." The corner of Vegeta's mouth raised a confident arc, and he said to Trunks, "The power of Super Saiyan God gave him enough confidence." All right, Trunks could only nod his head. "I don't know who is stronger, my dad or me. I'm looking forward to it." Small Trunks is also full of anticipation. Ha! At this moment, Trunks no longer hesitated. While clenching his fists, he immediately began to explode the breath in his body, accompanied by the deep roar. How crazy the golden flames are! A golden beam of light shot up into the sky instantly. What? Is this smell really from that brat Trunks? How can it be so strong? It's unbelievable. It's not at the same level as it was 10 years ago. After feeling the breath erupting from Trunks' body, Vegeta also showed a surprised expression on his face. Originally, he thought that Trunks would not be very strong. Even after 10 years, his ability to reach the limit of Super Saiyan 2 or Super Saiyan 3 is already very remarkable. But this power has obviously surpassed the Super Saiyan BGBG3. It is much stronger than Kakarot's Super 3 form aura when he was on the planet King Kai. Okay, so amazing. Is this really the aura emanating from Trunks? How could it be so strong? Son Goku, Piccolo, and Son Gohan all had incredible expressions on their faces, although they also know that the talent of Trunks in the future is indeed very strong. But the power that burst out just now has obviously surpassed the limit of Son Goku's original Super Saiyan population. It's only been 10 years. It's a bit unbelievable. It's interesting. Whis. This powerful aura is completely different from the previous match against 6th Universe. I don't know what happened to that boy Trunks so that his strength has improved so quickly. Beerus also stared at Trunks' position intently and then said to Whis in surprise, "After all, the match against the 6th Universe was only a few days ago. In less than 10 days, Trunks' ki has risen to such a level. It's really unbelievable. It's really weird, Lord Beerus. Looks like it's all Goten's fault again." Whis also said with a look of surprise, "Without the help of Son Goten, the Trunks probably wouldn't be able to reach this level. Otherwise, it is impossible for him to defeat a Supreme Kai candidate in the future time and space." And just when everyone was shocked, Trunks has completed his transformation. The whole body is covered with red body hair. The body is much stronger than before. Blue-colored hair looks even rougher. The eyes also became narrower and sharper. The temperament of the whole person has undergone a huge change. Russell, there are also golden jet-like gas flames around the body. Are you kidding me? What the hell is this? How come I've never seen it before? And even that kid Son Goten doesn't seem to have mastered this form. Is this really Scion's transformation? Seeing the Trunks who had become Super Saiyan 4 in front of him, Vegeta frowned tightly, thinking to himself. He had never seen anything like this before. I don't know when Trunks was learned. And the aura in his body was ridiculously strong. Originally thought that after becoming Super Saiyan God, Trunks could be easily defeated. Then show everyone what power you have. But now it seems that whether he can beat Trunks is still a big question. It's unbelievable that Trunks has reached this level. Piccolo and Son Gohan were quite surprised. This force is indeed too strong. Wow, Kaka, Trunks is amazing. Goten, is this also Super Saiyan's transformation? Son Goku looked at Trunks excitedly, and then asked Son Goten. He knew that Trunks was able to comprehend this transformation, and it must be inseparable from Goten. Yes, Trunks is now in this form called Super Saiyan 4. If there is no accident, the power he has now should far exceed yours. Son Goten nodded, also said unceremoniously. After all, after 4 years of training for Trunks, Super Saiyan 4 is already very stable. And the basic combat power has also been greatly improved. Son Goku and Vegeta should have just reached Super Saiyan God, so there is no comparison between the two. Super Saiyan 4? A form above Super Saiyan 3? That's how it turned out. Son Goku also suddenly realized, I never thought that Super Saiyan would look like this. But now the power of Super Saiyan God is also very strong. Beerus and Whis on the side were also quite surprised. Dad, this is my full power, the form of Super Saiyan 4. Looking at Vegeta with a gloomy face, Trunks said firmly. Everyone's surprise was within his expectation. After all, everyone has never seen the transformation of Super Saiyan 4 before. Smelly brat, I have to say that the power you have now really makes me feel unbelievable. At the same time, I am very pleased that you can become so strong. But even so, you will definitely not be able to defeat me. Vegeta first affirmed Trunks, then the corner of his mouth raised a confident arc again, pointed his thumb at the tip of his nose, and said, Of course, every time Vegeta pointed his right thumb at the tip of his nose, it meant he was going to be beaten to the ground. I'll do my best too, Dad. Trunks also said seriously. Cut. Vegeta pouted. Then he clenched his fists, and a deep roar was released from his throat instantly. Haha. Accompanied by Vegeta's roar, the entire Gods of Destruction world trembled. The surrounding gravel began to float in midair, and circles of air waves spread out from under his feet. This guy just likes to make such a big noise. It really is the breath of God. After feeling the breath erupting from Vegeta's body, Beerus also immediately confirmed that Vegeta had indeed reached the realm of a god. There should be nothing wrong with this breath. It's just that the breath of Vegeta, Trunks, and Kellen can't feel it anymore. Accompanied by a huge movement, a flame-like aura appeared directly around Vegeta's body. In the next second, the black hair directly turned purple, and so did the pupils. And the whole person seems to have lost a little weight. This is this god. It's true that like Master Beerus and Whis, I can't feel Vegeta's breath at all. Looking at the red-haired and red-eyed Vegeta, Kellen also said in surprise, I never thought that Scion could become a god. There is no doubt that Vegeta's current strength must be quite strong. I just don't know how it compares with Trunks. Sure enough, it's a Super Saiyan form just getting started. With this kind of power, it is impossible to defeat Trunks. The corner of Son Goten's mouth raised a slight arc, and he spoke lightly. 100 Grand Priest descends to the God realm. Terrified angel and gods of destruction. Subscription required, because he can feel the breath of Trunks and Vegeta at the same time. There is still a big gap between the breath of the two. After seeing everyone's surprised eyes, Vegeta is also very useful. It has been a long time since I have experienced this kind of gaze that only the protagonist can enjoy. Vegeta, the fighting talent is really good. Being able to get to that level in such a short amount of time. Beerus also gave a positive evaluation. When he was young, he thought Vegeta should be a good fighter. It's just that the last meeting made him very disappointed. This time was okay. Vegeta did not disappoint him. I just don't know who is more powerful in fighting between him and his son. Come on, Trunks. Show me your so-called Super Saiyan with all your strength. Okay. Vegeta raised the corner of his mouth and said proudly. Apparently, Super Saiyan God's power made him a little too inflated. Trunks nodded. Then, without any hesitation, his body flashed and rushed towards Vegeta. Without any reservations, he punched out directly. So fast. Vegeta, who was originally very confident, showed a surprised expression instantly after seeing the speed of Trunks. At this time, it is obviously impossible to fight back. And avoiding his own son's attack is a bit too embarrassing. He can't do it. Then his hands were crossed in front of his chest in an instant to resist the attack of Trunks. Boom! In the next second, Trunks' fist hit Vegeta's arms firmly. Accompanied by a low collision sound, Vegeta's body was directly blasted away by the punch. His feet rubbed against the ground, and he immediately retreated a distance of tens of feet, and the ground was even plowed into 2 shocking marks. But, damn it, why is the speed of this stinky brat so strong? Vegeta frowned, because his arms felt numb at this moment. Even Kakarot, the power is impossible to reach this level. It seems that the transformation of Super Saiyan 4 is indeed very powerful. It was a bit beyond his imagination. Just after Vegeta was knocked away with a punch, Trunks opened his hands flat, and countless energy balls directly blasted towards Vegeta. A set of typical Prince tactics. Rumble. The position Vegeta was in exploded instantly, and the rubble spread in all directions like bullets. Mushroom clouds made of dust also soared into the sky. Call out! Vegeta's body flashed out from the mushroom cloud. Then he said contemptuously to Trunks, "Boy, although the power has improved a lot, the way of attacking is still so stupid. Such an attack would only waste one's strength in vain." The moment the voice fell, Vegeta swooped down directly. He punched Trunks hard between the eyebrows. He knew that even if he hit Trunks head-on, such an estimate would not be able to cause him fatal damage. Swish! Just when Vegeta was about to secretly rejoice, his fist pierced directly between the eyebrows of Trunks. Obviously, what he hit was an afterimage. No! Impossible! When did this brat? I didn't notice it at all. Vegeta frowned instantly. He didn't see Trunks move at all just now. But this guy disappeared out of thin air. Dad, you are too careless. And at the moment when Vegeta was stunned, Trunks' voice sounded from behind. Vegeta was never given a chance to react. Trunks clenched his fists and slammed into Vegeta's rear. Boom! Another solid blow. Vegeta's body was directly smashed into the ground. The hard ground was also smashed into a huge deep pit. Okay, that's amazing. Trunks' speed and power are clearly above Vegeta. If this continues, Vegeta will never be the opponent of Trunks. It's really unbelievable. After becoming Super Saiyan 4, the strength can be so strong. Son Goku whispered in astonishment. Just now, even he didn't see Trunks' movements clearly. This shows that the speed of Trunks is far above them. Even if they become the form of Super Saiyan God, it is impossible to be the opponent of Trunks. That guy Trunks is too outrageous. Vegeta looks like he's going to be deflated this time. Piccolo also commented in surprise. Although he had seen the power of Super Saiyan God before, it can be said that it is completely different from Super Saiyan 2 and Super Saiyan 3. But I didn't expect that in front of Trunks, although he behaved so brokenly. The improvement of Trunks is really outrageous. Whis is also quite surprised. After all, he knows the power of Vegeta and Son Goku better than anyone. It's really great. It seems that this time the competition between all universes, our 7th universe will definitely win. Beerus looked excited. Trunks and Vegeta have become so much stronger. Then the other universes have no chance of winning at all. What's more, they also have a Son Goten whose strength is not weaker than Gods of Destruction. Can't wait to see what Gods of Destruction look like in other universes after they've been defeated. Rumble. Hateful. Unforgivable. And just when everyone was amazed by the power of Trunks, the ground instantly exploded. Vegeta's body also jumped up. Then he looked at Trunks angrily. Originally, his plan was to let everyone know how strong he is now through the battle with Trunks. Didn't even think he'd be no match for bastards like Trunks. But now, the development of the situation far exceeded his imagination. Trunks has more power than him. This caused his fragile self-esteem to be greatly hurt. "Dad, stop here. You are no match for me." Looking at Vegeta, whose eyes were burning with rage, Trunks spoke. "If the fight continues, it will only hurt Vegeta's poor self-esteem. This is something he doesn't want to see. But in this battle, he had to use all his strength. Stop talking to me like that, you brat. Today, no matter what, I will beat you to the ground." Vegeta was already on top at this time, roaring at Trunks. Immediately afterwards, the body rushed to Trunks again. Then he waved his fists crazily, raising the power of Super Saiyan God to the extreme. Trunks also chose to attack. The two kept clashing fists. Boom, boom, boom. The collision of fists made a low-pitched sound continuously. Hugging circles appeared one after another in the sky. At this time, the fists, elbows, and knees of the two became sharp weapons for attack, and they collided continuously. But such a collision obviously cannot tell the winner. In order to quickly defeat the Trunks, Vegeta's attacks became more and more fierce. But the more anxious he was, the more chaotic and disorderly his attacking methods became. It looks like Vegeta is going to lose this match soon. Anger completely disorganized his attacking style. Son Goku commented in a low voice. He couldn't figure out why Vegeta was angry. Obviously, it was just a simple sparring contest with his own son. How could he still win the fight? Vegeta was still punching and kicking frantically. Trunks gave up attacking at this time, and then continued to dodge. For hundreds of plays, Vegeta never touched Trunks' body. This made him even angrier. The way of attack has also become more and more messy. It seems that this is not the way to go. If the fight is not over as soon as possible, Dad will definitely continue to fight like this. While dodging the attack, Trunks frowned as he thought about it. If you blindly dodge, then it is impossible to tell the winner in this battle. Or just pretend to make a mistake and get beaten by Dad. But this will not work at all. If he pretends to be defeated by his father, his self-esteem will be hurt more seriously. Then another way is to completely defeat Dad. Then end this boring game. After all, time is very important to everyone. There is no need to waste it like this. After thinking of this, Trunks' eyes also shot out a firm light. "Father, you'll be offended." Trunks gritted his teeth and whispered. Then the moment Vegeta came over with his fist, Trunks easily dodged by the side of his body. Then the right knee directly hit Vegeta's abdomen heavily. Because of the inertia of punching, Vegeta couldn't dodge at all. Boom! The instant a low crash sounded, Vegeta's body directly bent into a prawn. Holding his abdomen tightly with both hands, a look of incomparable pain appeared on his face. Trunks hit with all his strength just now. The power is indeed very terrifying. Wow, wow! Holding his abdomen, Vegeta began to retch crazily. "I'm sorry, Dad." Seeing Vegeta with a painful face, Trunks also apologized very seriously. Then, without hesitation, he punched Vegeta's right cheek heavily. Boom! There was another low crash sound. The other bodies instantly fell to the ground in a straight line like falling meteorites. Rumble! The ground exploded in an instant, and Vegeta's body flew hundreds of feet away, directly rubbing against the ground. The ground was once again plowed out of a day's mark, and Vegeta's body lay at the end of that trail. Under someone's gaze, Vegeta's hair instantly turned black, returning to normal. Asking for flowers. Vegeta's son, Goku, murmured softly. He knows Vegeta very well, and knows that being defeated by Trunks this time must be a very painful thing for Vegeta, because his self-esteem is too strong. But this contest was originally proposed by him himself. No one can be blamed. Whoosh! At this time, Trunks also fell in front of everyone. Then he looked at Vegeta with a gloomy expression. "It's all right, Trunks. Just leave him alone for a while." Son Goku saw Trunks' guilt and said with a smile, "If you don't suffer the blow, you will never grow up." Perhaps after fighting Trunks this time, Vegeta's strength will improve by leaps and bounds. Vegeta stood up slowly. At this time, his back was facing everyone. His face was gloomy and scary. Damn it, damn BD. I actually lost to my son. Are you kidding? Clenching his fists tightly, Vegeta screamed frantically in his heart. Obviously, he has become the form of Super Saiyan God. Why would he still lose to his own son? This joke is really too big. But Beerus doesn't care about Vegeta's feelings at all. He walked directly in front of Trunks, patted Trunks on the shoulder, and said in praise, "That's amazing, Trunks. I haven't discovered that you kid can become so strong before. It seems that last time you were fortunately not sent back to your own time and space. Otherwise, we would have lost a powerful warrior. After the 7th universe has Son Goten and Trunks this time, it can definitely defeat other universes. Get the final victory. I just don't know what reward Master Zeno will give after winning the championship. It's really exciting. Thanks. Thank you, Lord Beerus, for your compliment." Trunks could only smile and nod reluctantly. His eyes still looked at Vegeta inadvertently. It seems that this time his shot was a little too heavy, which hurt Dad's self-esteem. But if he hides his strength, Dad might be hurt even more. With motivation, maybe he can make faster progress. "Okay, everyone, I was really hungry during the training just now. Let's go get something to eat." After replenishing your physical fitness, continue training. Looking at the slightly dull atmosphere, Whis on the side also said with a smile, especially after seeing the delicacies on the table. He is even less interested in other things. Everyone just sat down. Suddenly, a purple crack was torn open in the void of gods of destruction. An overwhelming sense of oppression followed. Beerus and Whis were the first to react. Then he looked up in horror. "That is, Master Grand Priest is here." Whis immediately sensed the Grand Priest's breath. After all, the Grand Priest was his father, and that breath was easy to catch. Are you kidding me? Master Grand Priest?" Beerus was instantly frightened and his pupils constricted. Although Master Grand Priest is only the steward of Master Zeno, his strength is not weaker than Master Zeno at all. And all gods of destruction and angels' jealousy and fear of him are not weaker than Lord Zeno at all. And Grand Priest Sama hasn't been to the 7th universe for tens of millions of years. I don't know what it is to come this time. Just when everyone was puzzled by the reaction of Beerus and Whis, in the void crack in the sky, a figure suddenly appeared, with a big silver back and a short stature of 1.45 meters. There is an angel aperture behind it. The professional suit he was wearing had a big character on the golden thing. Grand Priest? What is he doing in the 7th universe? Could it be because of Zeno holding the Tournament of Power? The moment he saw the Grand Priest, Son Goten thought immediately. Apart from this, there seems to be nothing else. But the moment he saw Grand Priest, the overwhelming sense of oppression made him instantly realize the gap between the two. That kind of gap is absolutely like a world of difference, completely irreparable. Too strong, more oppressive than Zeno and his 2 guards. "Master, Grand Priest, I didn't know that you were here, but you are far away. Please forgive me." Beerus immediately fell to his knees, and Whis did the same. The Grand Priest isn't just the Grand Priest, he's his father. So Angel's respect for the Grand Priest even surpasses that of Zeno. Who is he? Why are Lord Beerus and Whis treated with such respect? Son Goku and the others looked puzzled. Unexpectedly, the mighty gods of destruction and Angel would attack like that after seeing the little man. And gods of destruction Beerus is already shivering with fright. Son Goten did not answer their words with.
No more novels? Take part in the voting. The most requested novels and those with the most likes will be chosen for publication on euroaudiobooks.com. There, I can upload as much as I want without the risk of receiving a strike. Our 18 novels and other content that exceed what is morally acceptable are only published on Patreon or the free novels page. Remember, the site is funded by donations on Ko-fi and Patreon memberships.